Well, hello, Hawk fans, and welcome to DBU Patriot Field, Horner Ballpark here on the campus of Dallas Baptist University. I'm Stan Britton on RockwallISD.com and the SportsGram Network. It is the regional final, the I-30 Classic playoff edition, as we bring you Heath Hawks baseball tonight against Rockwall for the chance to go to the state tournament. It is a best-of-3 series, Game 1 tonight, Game 2 on Friday, and if necessary, Game 3 on Saturday. Your Heath Hawks winners over Tomball in 3 games over this past weekend, a rainy weekend in West and Corsicana. We'll tell you more about that in just a moment, but we're glad that you're with us tonight for the regional final, Game 1 on RockwallISD.com and the SportsGram Network. It is a fantastic crowd that has made the trek across Dallas here to Horner Ballpark on the campus of Dallas Baptist University, and we've got a lot to tell you here on the Rockwall Sports Center pregame show. We'll be joined in just a moment by my broadcast partner, Shannon Rodden, but before we do that, these messages from Rockwall Sports Center, our pregame show sponsor. This is Heath Hawks Playoff Baseball on RockwallISD.com and the SportsGram Network.
Hi, I'm Kara Hooks, and I'm a Rockwall High School 2004 alumni, and my family owns Rockwall Sports Center.
And hi, my name's Taylor Bullock, and I have worked at Rockwall Sports Center for 5 years now, and I'm also a Rockwall alumni that graduated in 2007.
We grew up here, we've started families here, and we decided to open Rockwall Sports Center to help serve our communities and our schools.
We currently do custom uniforms and custom spirit wear for all of Rockwall ISD, including exclusive Under Armour decorated pieces that cannot be found anywhere else. Come check out all of our women's pieces, including our new bleach hoodies and t-shirts.
From elementary to high school, we're here to take care of our friends, family, and community.
And that's why you should shop at Rockwall Sports Center.
And that's why we love Rockwall ISD.
Welcome back to Horner Ballpark on the campus of Dallas Baptist University. It's the Rockwall Sports Center pregame show ahead of tonight's regional final, Game 1 of the best-of-3 series. Down on the field, my broadcast partner Shannon Rodden is joined by the godfather of Rockwall ISD baseball, Randy Talley. And Shannon, lots to talk about here with Coach Talley.
Absolutely, Stan. Good to be with you guys. I've got, as you mentioned, the godfather of Rockwall baseball all together, Coach Randy Talley. Last time the Jackets went to the state tournament, made it all the way to the finals, 2005, and it was none other than this man here that was the head coach. Coach, I know you bleed orange, but you've also got quite a history. 12 years with Coach Greg Harvey as your assistant when the school split. We've talked about the story before. Coach Harvey went to Heath. Coach Payne stayed at Rockwall. And you went off into your glory as the broadcaster for the Yellow Jackets. But overall, Coach, you know, you and I have spent a lot of time together. What does it mean to you? I know you bleed orange, but what does it mean to you to have both of these programs that you have so much a part of make it to this point?
It's like asking the parent of twins, which one do you love more? It's an impossible question for me to answer. Preston Clark, Trey Ochoa, me, we coached Dallas Tigers teams and just completely stocked the shelves for Coach Harvey with Heath kids. Had 2 Rockwall kids, the rest of them were from Heath, so I've got skin in the game over here in the red as well as my bleeding orange Rockwall Yellow Jackets. And, you know, me and Harvey and Payne, we had the reins of Rockwall baseball for 27 years. That's an extended period of time, and I love Harvey. I love Coach Rose. Absolutely love what he's doing, and he's carrying on every tradition I ever dreamed of and more. So it's going to be an exciting night. The winner right here is Rockwall ISD.
Yeah, the entire community of Rockwall and Heath. As you look around, you got the orange on half. You got the white out going over here with the Hawks. But overall, I mean, I know you, like I say, I know you're bleeding orange. You're going to be on the call with those guys tonight. But is it sort of a little bit of you pulling for Heath here?
No, don't even say that. I'm not even going to answer the question. You just, I'll tell you Sunday who I'm for. I'm for the team that climbs on that bus and heads to Round Rock.
There you go.
There is one team going now. I understand that back in 2012 when the Hawks made it to the state tournament that you got on that bus and had a message for the team. What was that?
I really don't remember what I said. Was it profound?
You want me to help him?
Yes, it was. It was the message was that you had left 30 medals down there in Round Rock.
That's right. Time to be greedy. Don't come back with a second place medal. I remember that now.
Yes, he did.
And,
I was reminded by Timbo Duncan of that earlier. But, Coach, as you look out here, overall, how do you feel right now?
I'm so proud. I mean, both of these coaches have got these teams to the pinnacle of high school baseball. And you take Region 2, which is, a fourth of the state, and it's come down to two teams from the smallest county in Texas, Rockwall, Texas, and they've got two teams that are fighting to see who goes to state. I couldn't be more proud. I mean, you talk about just busting out at the seams. My chest is exploding. I'm so proud of both Harvey and Rose.
Well, guys, that's Coach Randy Talley here. He's going to have to get back up and get onto his broadcast for the Yellow Jackets. But, Coach, appreciate everything that you've done, everything that you've meant to our entire community. Congratulations on such a wonderful weekend. Good luck to you. You heard it right there from the godfather of Rockwall baseball. And, guys, I've gotten to know him over the last 9 or 10 years. Had a son that was part of those Dallas Tigers teams. And when he started doing the broadcasting, talking about Tigers talk, it's just that guy is quite special for this community.
No doubt, as head coach Randy Talley, as you heard it, 27 years between the three of those coaches, Coach Payne, Coach Harvey, and Coach Talley at the helm of Rockwall Yellow Jacket baseball. And, of course, a lot of investment from all of those men and many of the players who are on the field tonight. We've got a lot to tell you about on the Rockwall Sports Center pregame show. We'll take a break and be back, talk to you about these two teams and the road that got them here to the regional final before Game 1 of this best-of-3 series here at Horner Ballpark and Dallas Baptist University. This is Heath Hawk Playoff Baseball on the Rockwall Sports Center pregame show on RockwallISD.com, powered by the SportsGram Network.
Shout out to Rockwall ISD football fans. I am Barbara Jackson of Toyota of Rockwall. I wanted to personally thank you for joining us today to support our teams. You are listening to SportsGram Network. We hope that you enjoy the game.
Welcome back inside the broadcast booth, the Rockwall Sports Center pregame show here on RockwallISD.com, powered by the SportsGram Network. These two teams, a very strong showing through these playoffs. The Rockwall Yellow Jackets 8-0 so far through 4 rounds. They have swept all 4 rounds to get to this regional final. The first time, Shannon, since 2005 for these Yellow Jackets. And you spoke with Coach Talley a little while ago, but lots of history in those 16 years from 2005 to now.
Absolutely, and these two teams, they battle every year for district, and it always comes down to that. No matter which team's up, which team's down, it's always been close. We've had 2 play-in games for the de facto district championship over the last 4 years, and they've split those. There was one other time in 2018 where both teams were 1 round away in the 4th round from facing each other. I think at that time they were both the heavy favorite and they were both looking towards it, and everyone was talking about it, including the parents, and both teams got swept in the 4th round. This year was a lot different. They came back, coming this year, nobody really knew. With COVID, not a lot of teams traveled. There hasn't been, we were both playing the Houston schools. nobody really knew. So both teams bowed up last week, got the wins, and here we are today. We've talked about this scenario so many times, and now it's come to fruition. And guys, the electricity here is just unbelievable.
A standing room only crowd here at Horner Ballpark on the campus of Dallas Baptist University. A beautiful scene here in Southwest Dallas, right on the eastern edge of the Dallas Baptist University campus and the Dallas-Fort Worth National Cemetery just over the hill here from DBU. The Yellow Jackets 30-11-1 under head coach Barry Rose. They, as we said a moment ago, swept the 4 rounds that they have played. They are 8-0 so far in this postseason coming into tonight's matchup. Your Hawks are 34-10-1. They have played a decisive third game in 3 of the 4 rounds now. And as we look at that, Shannon, we're looking at a Heath Hawks team that is here for the first time since 2012 after being here for 3 straight years in 2010, 2011, and, of course, the state championship in 2012.
Yeah, in 2010, that team was 39-0 at one point. And I remember, it was a young community, a young school. I remember talking to one of the parents early in the playoffs, asking them who they were going to play this week, and he gave me a 3-week schedule. And I remember thinking at that time, I go, state championships don't just come along that easy. And the conference was, oh, no, we'd beaten everybody. If nobody can touch us, all that. And I said, that doesn't, that's just not the attitude to have going into a long playoff run. And I remember we got into the 4th round, and it was inevitable. We were over in Frisco. It was inevitable that we were about to lose the second game, and it was going to be 1-1, and 30 minutes later they were going to have to play another game for game 3. And all the parents could talk about was, oh, my God, we're not going to have an undefeated season. And I remember just sitting in the stands thinking, guys, you're about 2 hours away from your season possibly ending. Went through that. The Hawks rebounded, and all week long, all they were talking about was the undefeated season gone. And they came out the next week. It was Wakeland that they were playing in the regional finals.
Yes. Coached by none other than
Mr. Barry Rose over there.
Yes.
And that team lost in 2 games. Timbo, you were there, lost bad in 2 games. But there was a lot of sophomores on that team. And 2 years later, what happened, Timbo?
2 years later, guess who we play in the regional finals? Frisco Wakeland.
Back to Frisco Wakeland. The guys were 2 years older. My point in saying that was that sometimes you have to go through those, as young players, you have to go through those moments. Sometimes the moments can be bigger than you're ready for. But going through them and sometimes not having the success 2 years later is what catapults them on. But Timbo, you were a parent on that team. What are your memories from that?
I remember that game 1, we handled them pretty good. Game 2, Coach Harvey pulled a change up. Jake Thompson was our number 1 pitcher, no doubt, and he started off with Javon. Javon got the win, and instead of going with Jake Thompson in game 2, he goes with Jake Baxter. We lose that game 1-0. Kids played their hearts out, and Coach Rose, he had his kids playing their hearts out. They beat us 1-0. Well, guess what? Game 3, we've got our number 1 going, and those kids believed 100% in Jake Thompson. So did Coach Harvey, and of course, he made history with it. Went out there and put it on them. Did real well. But with Coach Harvey at the helm, we talked about this a few weeks ago. You can't try to figure Coach Harvey out. He'll wherever you think you got him figured out, you don't. So sit back and watch and enjoy and eat all this up, because this is an awesome atmosphere like you talked about earlier.
It is an incredible atmosphere here, of course, as we talk through the previous seasons for the Hawks and talking about the regional final here for the 4th time in school history. These Hawks are 2-5 all time against head coach Barry Rose, and looking tonight to right the ship, to get win number 3 against him, and ultimately get game number 1 in this regional final here in 2021. We're going to take another quick break, and we'll be back after these messages on the Rockwall Sports Center pregame show here on Rockwall ISD and the SportsGram Network.
Hi, I'm Tim Mosley, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A at Ridge Road in North Rockwall, FSU in Rockwall, Texas. This is my wife, Melissa. We are proud to serve you here in Rockwall. Come see us and eat some chicken, especially at our new location in the north end of town. We'd like to tell you we're proud supporters of Rockwall ISD, and hope you enjoy the game tonight.
Welcome back, Horner Ballpark on the campus of Dallas Baptist University, and I'm joined to my right by none other than Coach Russ Reeves, Athletic Director for Rockwall Independent School District. And Coach, you've been in and out of our booth and other booths, and it seems like the comment coming in is what a scene here at Horner Ballpark.
Oh, it's fantastic, and just walking around on both sides, what I love is the buzz of excitement, because they're proud of their teams, but they're also proud of our school district and our communities, and you can feel that, and that's what you dream of, and we're getting to experience it, and we'll get to experience it in this series, and I'm excited to watch it.
Well, it is an impressive scene here, as these two clubs have been in a couple of slugfests coming into this round, this fifth round, the regional final. But what a scene here at Horner Ballpark. It's almost split down the middle. It feels kind of like Texas OU, where it is orange and white, or orange and black down one side, and then red, white, and black down the other side. Of course, the Heath Student Council calling this a whiteout, and so all of the Hawk fans are in white here. And Coach, talk about just this as a district, as the athletic director for our district. Obviously, you're going to win regardless of which school wins it. Now, we all have our picks and our favorites over here on the dark side.
I always say this, too, that I also lose. So
You do.
And but what I want, and I say this every time our kids play, is that I just want them to play to the best of their ability and leave it all out there. And when the game's over, that they can be proud of what they've done.
And I think these two clubs, without a doubt, can be proud of their season so far. Of course, none of them wants to be done in this round, and so it is going to be a grudge match going forward. And I have affectionately dubbed it the I-30 Classic Playoff Edition here in the regional final. Of course, this is it's not a 1 in a million shot, but it is a hard shot to get to not just the same district playing in this round, but the same school district playing in this round. And so talk about that. It has happened in the past, not necessarily for Rockwall ISD, but districts playing one another in this fifth round regional final.
Well, it's one thing that I've talked about since I got here with our baseball coaches, is that with our programs, we have the ability to do it, but it just shows you how hard it is to do. I've been here 8 years. This is the first time it's happened, and we've had great teams.
Yes.
And so it just shows you the type of character that both of these ball clubs have to get here. It's not easy, and the great thing for Rockwall ISD and our community is that one of these teams is going to represent all of us in Austin.
That's
or
right.
in Round Rock.
In Round Rock.
Yeah.
And that is what all these teams are, every year you talk about we want to get to the state tournament. We want to be a representative. Not only that, we want to try and win a state championship. And I think back to a couple of years ago watching Rockwall go to the state semifinals in football, and I was at I believe it was the quarterfinal match against Prosper, and looking around, and it was, orange and white, but there were some H's there supporting the other schools, and so it's just exciting, not just for our district, but for our town to know that one of our schools is going to be could be potentially playing for a state title.
I've always said this, is that somebody's kid's going to get to go to the state tournament. And if it's not one of our schools, then why shouldn't we want the other one? Because they're from our community.
That's right.
And I really get a sense of that. I tell our coaches, when we get inside the white lines, we're going to battle, and you're going to try to win every game you can, no matter who you're playing. And when you step off the field, we're going to respect one another. And I think both these ball clubs do that. And it really shows the people outside of our community that, hey, we can have a great rivalry, we can compete hard and have great battles, but then when it's all said and done, we're rooting for each other.
Without a doubt. These two clubs have combined 64-21-2 this season. Very impressive records between the Coach Rose coached Yellow Jackets and the Coach Harvey coached Hawks, as the Yellow Jackets finishing up their warm-ups down about 10 minutes before first pitch now. And And Coach, as you look over this school year, I mean, of course, school is out now. We finished up last Friday. It has been an incredible athletic year for Rockwall ISD athletics.
Well, I tell you, I've told people this the last couple of weeks is it just shows you what type of coaches we have that took the worst year of all of our lives in this worldwide pandemic to work through all the challenges that we did and have the success that we've had. And that's at both schools. I mean, Rockwall Heath made it to the state championship in soccer. And they'd never done that before. And now we're doing something that we've never done before here. We've got the Rockwall girls softball program playing Friday, first time ever. So we've done a lot of first in a year of first.
That's unbelievable. A gymnastics state championship, all kinds of accomplishments for our kids here in Rockwall ISD, and a lot of it, and I know you don't accept a ton of praise, but we're grateful for what you do leading our athletic programs. And then the three of us here, especially grateful that you let us jump on and just act like fools calling baseball games here in June. It's a blast.
Well, you guys love the Heath Hawks, and Billy and Coach Talley, they love the Yellow Jackets, and that comes out in your broadcast, and we're blessed to have all of you guys. And that's why it's so awesome that we're having both broadcasts, because you guys have invested in these programs and you followed them, and it means something to you. And as the athletic director, it just gives me a lot of pride knowing that I have people that are calling the game that love these kids.
Absolutely, and you couldn't have said it better, and that is absolutely true of the five of us. And as we are about 8 minutes before first pitch, joined by Coach Russ Reeves, head athletic director for Rockwall ISD. And Coach, just as we get ready for first pitch here, you look at these two clubs. I know it's going to be a slugfest over the next couple of days here at Horner Ballpark. What do you see here? And as a coach, I know your heart's busting out of your chest.
Well, the thing is both these you don't get this far without being tested. And Heath has gone three games every round. Rockwall's gone 2, but they've both been tested. Rockwall was in situations where they could have gone 3, but they were able to step up and make things happen, just like Heath has in game 3s when they needed to, like Caden Fibash last week, coming in there when the runs are on base and he shuts them down. I mean, and so that's what both clubs have been able to show. Now, what's going to be interesting as this series goes on is as the pressure mounts, to see if some of those things that they've experienced will help them or hurt them as this series goes on.
It should be a good one. Game 1 of the best-of-3 series here in the regional final, the I-30 Classic Playoff Edition. Coach Reeves, thanks for joining us here, giving us a few minutes, and it's going to be a good one tonight.
Thanks for you guys and all you do for us.
There he goes, head coach Russ Reeves, athletic director for Rockwall Independent School District. We're going to take one final break. We'll be back after this for the lineups and the national anthem and the first pitch. It's Heath Hawk Playoff Baseball on RockwallISD.com and the SportsGram Network. Back at Horner Ballpark on the campus of Dallas Baptist University, about 6 minutes away from first pitch as the coaches have come out to home plate to exchange lineups. Coach Barry Rose for the Yellow Jackets at 30-11-1. They are in white pants with black pinstripes, black tops with the rockin' R on the front and the orange numerals on the back, JFND on the left sleeve. Coach Harvey on the left there in white pants with black stripes and white tops with Heath scrolled across the chest and the numeral in the lower left. For the Yellow Jackets tonight, leading off and playing center field, Barrett Reebok. Braden Randall is batting second and playing shortstop. Cole Dillon is behind the dish and batting third. Andrew Tellia at third base and batting cleanup. Mac Rose over at first base and batting fifth. Tate Sloan is covering second base tonight and batting 6th. Mason Poppin in right field is batting 7th. Batting 8th and playing left field, Lake Bennett. Tyler Rollins is DHing tonight in the 9 hole. And Shannon Rodden has the lineup for your Heath Hawks.
Coached by Greg Harvey with a 34-10-1 record overall and 8-3 in the playoffs. Leading off for the Hawks, playing second base will be number 16, Caden Fiveash. Batting second, wearing number 5, will be shortstop Carson Kuroka. In the 3 hole, wearing number 9, Kevin Bazell, the catcher. Batting cleanup will be Caston Mason. He will wear number 25 and play first base. Batting 5th and playing left field will be Zach Reich and wear number 21. 6 is Caleb Hoover. He will play DH tonight and wear number 7. Batting 7th is number 19, Johnny Lowe. He will be on the mound for the Hawks. 8-hole hitter is Josh Hoover. He'll play third base and wear number 17. And rounding out the lineup and playing center field for the Hawks, number 2, Alex Stowers.
Stowers, of course, in place of the injured Jet Williams, has played all 5 rounds now of the playoffs, coming in late in the season. We mentioned it a lot in that Tomball series. Came in as a JV player throughout the whole year and is called up in the playoffs to play in place of the injured Jet Williams, Alex Stowers.
Yep, we've talked about it many times. Coach Harvey always looking right around towards the end of the district schedule. There's always somebody that's either slumping or somebody that he sees on JV, somebody that sees, we've seen Drew Daniels on the pitcher's mound. Somebody that he sees steps up, he gives them an opportunity, and if you hit, you stay. If you pitch well, you stay. But make no mistake about it, though, this team has been led by those top 5 seniors in Fiveash, Kuroka, Bazell, Mason, and Reich. They have been the mainstays all year, gotten them through the district schedule, and then in the playoffs, it's the bottom 4 have really stepped up and made a world of difference for this team. And that's Hoover, Lowe, make that Josh Hoover, Johnny Lowe, Caleb Hoover, and as you had mentioned, Caleb Stowers. Early in the season, to give you an idea, up at the beginning of the playoffs, the top 5 had 203 hits and 154 RBIs and 14 home runs. And the bottom of the lineup during that time in the regular season only had 203 hits and 203 RBIs. Only had 100 hits and 59 RBIs on the 6 through 9. In the playoffs, much more balanced. The top 5 had 46 hits, 30 RBIs, and the bottom 5 of the lineup has 44 hits and 31 RBIs. So the balanced lineup, we've talked about it many times, Stan, is if the Hawks were going to make a run, the bottom of the lineup has to stand up. And just by those stats right there, you can tell those guys have come alive and have really put a shot into this Hawks team.
They certainly have, as the Yellow Jackets, the visiting team, have been announced here, and we will turn our attention to the home team, your Heath Hawks, here in this Game 1 of the regional final best-of-3 series. And what a showing from Rockwall and Heath. It is standing room only. About 2,000 tickets were sold here, 1,200 seats in the bowl here at Andy and Joan Horner Ballpark on the campus of Dallas Baptist University, and about 800 standing room only. As you look down both lines in the outfield and left and right field, there are folks out on the hill in left center field in this picturesque ballpark here for DBU Patriot Baseball, who will make their 5th consecutive trip to the College World Series that starts on Friday. They made it into the Southwest Regional over in Fort Worth with TCU and others, but they are playing host tonight to this great series between the Yellow Jackets and your Hawks. And Shannon, as we turn our attention here with about 90 seconds before first pitch, we look at a young man, Johnny Lowe, who will take the mound here in Game 1, has been the Game 1 starter through these 5 rounds and has had a heck of a season, struggled a little bit in the middle, got knocked around in a couple of games, but man, what a consistent and resilient young man Johnny Lowe.
Yeah, Johnny's whole thing, he wears his emotions on his sleeves, and he has had a couple games. I'm thinking back to the first time we played Rockwall. He threw a 2-hitter, but he had walked 7 batters, and that's what you can't do. You also got Mac Rose going for Rockwall over here. It's going to be interesting. Anytime you get in, when you add this kind of playoff pressure much less the community pressure, everything that's going on. It's going to be which team can settle in the fastest and just play baseball. And I'm interested to see these first 2 innings, which team does that, because as we've seen all 3 times, whoever gets out to that lead is hard to catch.
He definitely is. As Johnny Lowe, 15 starts on the season, he is 9-4, 78 innings pitched and 2.33 ERA. For Lowe, he's making his 16th start as our county judge, Judge David Sweet, getting a picture here in front of us. Thankful for all that he does in Rockwall County, as we will go down to the field for the national anthem here at Horner Ballpark, Dallas Baptist University.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please rise and remove your hats as we honor America and the courageous men and women who serve to protect it with the playing of our national anthem.
National anthem from Andy and Joan Horner Ballpark, Dallas Baptist University. Game 1 of the regional final between your Heath Hawks and the Rockwall Yellow Jackets. It is the I-30 Classic playoff edition, Shannon, and the scene could not be better. The city has showed up. The community has come out to support their boys. And we've got 3 baseball games in the next 4 days, hopefully 2 baseball games in the next 3 days. But knowing these 2 clubs, I have a feeling we're probably going to be calling some baseball on Saturday.
Yes, these 2 teams, the Hawks have kind of been Jekyll and Hyde. They have, when they've had their backs to the wall, which they have had 5 elimination games, they have bowed up until that, till the 4th inning of that game against Tomball in the 4 and what, so that's probably 31 innings. They were scoreless when they had their backs to the wall. Now, by the other hand, we've also had to go 3 games in 3 out of the 4 series, and we've talked about it over and over, not executing the small ball. A lot of times not matching the intensity that they need to, or, getting caught up in other things. But the bottom line is we are here. This is an absolute fabulous event for our community. You look across, it is just everybody, the nerves are there. It is just absolutely great.
Could not set a better stage here for this game 1 of the regional final, best of 3 series, of course, in Texas high school baseball. And in the championships here in the postseason, it is a 7-round grudge match for a state championship in high school baseball. And we are in round 5, and it's hard to believe that, as Coach Talley said it in the pregame show, the smallest county in Texas has 2 teams playing for an opportunity to go to the state tournament in Round Rock. And the scene tonight, as we've said, could not be any better. Johnny Lowe on the mound, getting ready. These warm-up pitches as we get ready for batter number 1 here at Horner Ballpark. Coach Arias down the line giving instructions to his team. Left to right for your Hawks across the infield. Hoover is at third base, Croca at short, 5 Ash at second, and Caston Mason at first base. Reich, Stowers, and Johnson left to right across the outfield. Johnny Lowe on the mound at 9-4, coming in his 16th start in the season. And then behind the dish, the mainstay who will be here at DBU next year, signed to play for Coach Dan Hefner, Kevin Bazell, is behind the plate. Lots of texts coming in. Folks listening from home of this. These tickets sold out in a matter of minutes to get here tonight. It was unbelievable how fast. Of course, tickets for Game 2 will go on sale at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. You can set your alarms. Make sure you jump on to rockwallisd.com and buy tickets for Game 2 on Friday afternoon at 2 o'clock. We'll have that game for you here. Pregame at 1:30 and first pitch at 2 o'clock. You can text into the broadcast booth. You can hit us up on Twitter at Heath Hawks Voice or at Heath Hawks Radio. We'd love to hear where you're listening from, who you're cheering for tonight in this Jackets versus Hawks I-30 Classic Playoff Edition. And we are ready to go for first pitch.
Congratulations to both sides of town. This is everything we expected, and it's going to be a fun next few days.
So Barrett Reebok will lead it off, and Johnny Lowe's first pitch misses for ball one. We are underway. Game 1 of this best-of-3 regional final in the Texas High School Baseball Championship. Swing and a miss on pitch number 2, and Johnny Lowe evens it up at a ball and a strike.
Johnny works fast as always. Like we talked about, first inning is going to be important.
Strong left-handed hitter is Reebok. Been in that leadoff role most of the season for head coach Barry Rose. Johnny falls behind in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. Kicks and deals here on 2-1. Inside, misses just a little bit, and he's behind now, 3 balls and a strike. Tall right-hander is Low, deals from the first base side of the rubber. Comes home on 3-1 and misses, and Reebok draws a leadoff walk to start the game.
Now, we talked about a lot last week at Tomball was who would flinch first. And looking around, there wasn't this kind of crowd. A lot of extra distractions going on.
Braden Randall, the shortstop, will come to the plate. Yellow Jackets on the rail in the dugout, making lots of noise here in their half of the first.
Said they sold out fast. 2,000 tickets sold for this game.
As Lowe starts it off to Randall. Bazell coming up, thought about a throw down to keep Reebok close.
Kevin Bazell wants to go out, talk to Johnny, tell him throw strikes, let your defense work. Top of this lineup for the Jackets, dangerous. Don't want to give him anything free.
Falls behind a ball and no strikes to Randall. Another left-handed hitter in the top of the order here for Coach Barry Rose. Crowding the plate. Thought about a bunt, pulled it back, but not in time, and it's a strike across the plate.
Jackets been very good, as any Coach Barry Rose team is, at bunting. Talked to Coach Talley about that before. He's bunted as many as 5 or 6 times in a row.
Hoover playing it on the grass over at third. Caston Mason holding Reebok at first. 1-1 pitch is across the outside corner for strike 2. And for the first time, Johnny's ahead at a ball and 2 strikes.
Great breaking ball by Johnny Lowe right there, as that ball had plenty of movement on it. It's a good sign early. He's definitely got the extra velocity. Just needs to get it in the strike zone.
On 1-2 to Braden Randall. Kicks and deals. Swung on, hard hit ball right field. Johnson coming over. It bounces in front of him for a base hit. And Randall's going to take off for second base. And he's stuck between first and second. The throw over is trying to catch him there and over down to third base. And both runners are safe at second and third on a good heads-up play by Braden Randall here in the top of the first.
Not a good decision by Five Ash. Randall had turned and was running to second. Had both players there, could have easily gotten one out, but threw it back to first. Now both runners safe at second, third, no outs here when the Hawks had a chance to get one out and keep a runner at second.
So the third hitter of the inning, Cole Dillon, the catcher. Johnny quickly comes home, swung on foul up the third base side.
So the first break goes to the Yellow Jackets.
Johnny's been in this position before with runners at second and third and nobody out.
Five Ash throwing behind both players there.
0-1 pitch from Lowe. Outside corner, strike 2.
So in this situation, important to Hogs, the percentages go way up. You're definitely almost certain to give up 1 run here. You got to get outs. Minimize the damage.
Infield playing back now. 0-2, swung on, and Knobber up the third base side. Hoover takes it backhanded, throws over to Mason. And are they going to get 2 here? They do! 2! What a play by Josh Hoover! Over to Mason for 1 and back to Hoover for 2. And the bases are emptied, but the RBI sacrifice brings a run across for the Yellow Jackets in the top of the first.
Good job by Josh Hoover backhanding that ball. Check the runner just enough to throw it across, get that out. The runner had checked up at second, tried to make it to third, but Caston Mason with a perfect throw back to Josh Hoover, and now there are 2 outs. But as we talked about, the Yellow Jackets drawing first blood with the first run of the game.
Cleanup hitter Andrew Telia at the plate. As that one misses way outside for ball 1. Fastball right down Broad Street for strike 1.
Considering how that first exchange went, I think the Hawks would be happy to get out of here, only giving up the 1 run.
The 1-1 pitch hit hard and foul up the first base side.
Talked about the top of this lineup, top of both lineups. Very dangerous.
So a 1-2 pitch to Andrew Telia. Slow comes home, swung on and missed. Drop third strike as Bazell will throw down to first base. And the side is retired. But the Jackets draw first blood, a run on 1 hit. They leave nobody. And we're going to the bottom of the first. We'll take a break and be back after these messages. Heath Hawks Playoff Baseball on RockwallISD.com. Powered by the SportsGram Network.
Hi, I'm Kara Hooks, and I'm a Rockwall High School 2004 alumni, and my family owns Rockwall Sports Center.
And hi, my name's Taylor Bullock, and I have worked at Rockwall Sports Center for 5 years now, and I'm also a Rockwall alumni that graduated in 2007.
We grew up here, we started families here, and we decided to open Rockwall Sports Center to help serve our communities and our schools.
We currently do custom uniforms and custom spirit wear for all of Rockwall ISD, including exclusive Under Armour decorated pieces that cannot be found anywhere else. Come check out all of our women's pieces, including our new bleach hoodies and t-shirts.
From elementary to high school, we're here to take care of our friends, family, and community.
And that's why you should shop at Rockwall Sports Center.
And that's why we love Rockwall ISD.
Bottom of the first we go in game 1 of this regional final between the Jackets and Hawks. Caden Five Ash will lead it off as he's done all season. First pitch comes home, misses outside for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch, swung on and missed from Five Ash. Telia, Randall, Sloan, and Rose left to right across the infield for the Jackets. Bennett, Reebok, and Poppin left to right across the outfield. Daniel Cunningham on the mound to start it off, and he gets ahead of Caden Five Ash at a ball and 2 strikes with a swing and a miss there.
Five Ash only batting .266 on the season, but a .484 on-base percentage. That's due to 33 walks and 14 hit by pitch. So he can stand there with the best of them.
Count evened up at 2-2, and it's a hard hit ball center field. Reebok coming underneath it, and Five Ash is retired, first out of the home half here with a hard hit ball to straightaway center field.
Yep, hit the ball hard. Good things will happen. That'll bring on Carson Kuroka. He has been Mr. Everything for the Hawks. 333 all season. And just about the same in the playoffs. But in the playoffs, he's had 14 RBIs, 3 home runs, including several game winners we'll talk about throughout the game.
First pitch misses, a ball and no strikes to Carson. Swung on, hard hit ball, popped up center field. Reebok coming underneath it. He puts a glove on it, and there are 2 away. So the DBU commit, Kevin Bazell, will stride to home plate to try to keep this home half alive for the Hawks.
Yeah, so far, Jackets getting out of danger of getting out of this first inning under 10 pitches. Kevin Bazell can change it here.
Cunningham comes home. This one's popped straight up. Dillon coming back just outside the DBU logo, and he makes the catch. And Bazell is out. The sign is retired. No runs on no hits, and nobody left. Jackets lead going to the second, 1-0. We'll keep it here. And Shannon, through 1, the Jackets have a very fortunate turn of events there. Able to get runners to second and third. The RBI sacrifice gets the first run of the game.
Yeah, like we talked about, a lot of nerves. Which team can settle in? So far, Jackets drawing first blood there. But like we talked about, it's that first 2 innings. So hopefully the Hawks can come out here. Johnny Lowe, throw strikes, let your defense work. But the Jackets, so far for Coach Rose, everything that he hoped for in that first inning, gets the 1 run. But Hawks going to have to play a little more solid here in the second.
Got to bear down, Timbo. We've talked about it a lot. You watch a lot of Hawks baseball. First inning in the books here in this I-30 Classic playoff edition. What do you see?
Well, I think that it's we got out of there with 1 run, so it's a win-win for us there. But something I noticed, Cunningham, the pitcher for Rockwall, he's struggling on his breaking ball, but he's throwing that fastball really, really well. Our guys need to pay attention a little bit. I know they will be looking dead red for that fastball. I think that curveball can't get across for a strike. So I think it's a win. Well, we're down 1-0, but I think the Hawks won that inning because we only gave up 1. We could have given up a whole lot more.
You're absolutely right. As Lowe comes out for the top half of the second here. He does get out of the inning relatively unscathed. And he will face Rose, Poppin, and Sloan, 5, 6, 7 here in the top half of the second inning. Rose, another left-handed hitter in the lineup for the Jackets. As Lowe hits that outside corner fastball for strike 1.
Yeah, in the seeding game, Rose going over to get a foul ball on the first baseline. Had an injury. Glad to see he's back in the lineup as he was running over, collided in the fence with his knee. Piece of metal got pretty deep into that. Missed the bi-district series, but good to see him back.
Check swing as he holds up, but Lowe comes back quickly with a fastball and gets him. A ball and 2 strikes to Mac Rose. Leadoff hitter in the top of the second. 1-0 the score. Jackets lead here in the top of the second. And the 1-2 pitch is fouled back to the screen.
Johnny definitely, we talked about it last week in the Tom Ball series, has the pop on his fastball, which playoff energy will amp things up a little bit. Had a great outing against Tom Ball with an 8-0 win. Trying to match that tonight.
Another 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and Rose goes down on strikes.
Exactly what we talked about. The high heat on that outside gets Mac Rose to chase, and just too much speed there. As Lowe has his first strikeout of the game.
So Johnny will face off against Tate Sloan here with 1 away in the top of the second. This is upstairs, ball 1. 1-0 pitch, way outside, ball 2. Johnny behind Sloan here, 2 balls and no strikes. Hoover playing in over at third, and this one is hard hit out to right field. Johnson will shake to his right, puts a glove on it, and there are 2 away.
Much better start to this inning for Johnny Lowe.
Hats off to Aiden Johnson. He's doing a great job in the field. Doesn't get a lot of at-bats, but he's doing a great job in the right field for the Hawks.
Been a mainstay over there. Winlow is on the mound. Of course, Hoover plays right often in game 3. Hoover over at third tonight with Johnny Lowe on the mound. Landry Poppin, the right fielder, will be the next batter up with 2 away here in the top of the second, and he is up the third base line for a brief conversation with head coach Barry Rose.
Mason Poppin batting .323 on the season. He's one of those players for Rockwall that has come on during the playoffs, giving them a lot more depth.
Poppin hit a big 3-run homer in that play-in game a few weeks ago. This one's hard hit right up the middle. Hard hit ground ball that gets out into center field, and Stowers will come up with it. But Poppin is aboard with a 2-out single.
Taking that first pitch fastball, that outside corner, slapping it right back up the middle. And the Jackets now have a hit in each of the first 2 innings.
So Lake Bennett taking a few practice swings. Now we'll step into the box with Poppin at first and 2 away here in the top of the second. Curveball hits home, strike 1. Beautiful breaking ball from Johnny Lowe in that one.
I like to see Johnny getting away, not just all first fastballs, or first pitch fastballs, throwing a great curveball, getting ahead right there.
Trying to keep it down in the zone. A ground ball would be nearly perfect. Throw over is not in time. Poppin getting back safely.
Lake Bennett batting .257 on the season for the Jackets.
Lowe comes home on 0-1. Poppin thought about going. Was outside, and I think that Bazell probably would have had him dead to rights.
Both of these teams know each other so well, so you notice he jumped like he was going, but he was back very quick too.
Yes.
9 back picks on the season for Bazell.
Ball and a strike to Lake Bennett. As Johnny kicks and deals, this one's hit hard. Left field, right going back. Can he get there? He does. Catch is made, side is retired. No runs. Another hit added in the hit column. And we go to the bottom of the second. Your score, 1-0. We'll be back after these messages. Heath Hawks playoff baseball on RockwallISD.com and the SportsGram Network.
Hey, Rockwall Heath fans. Nothing tastes better after a Hawks victory than some Raising Cane's chicken fingers. We're open late, so join us for some of our fresh, never frozen, cooked-to-order quality chicken finger meals. Here at Cane's, we know how to win the day, and we'll help you win the day over your hunger and wash it down with a fresh squeezed lemonade. See you after the game. One love. Go Hawks.
Back at Horner Ballpark, Dallas Baptist University going to the bottom of the second. Jackets lead 1-0 over your Hawks here on RockwallISD.com and the SportsGram Network. Timbo Duncan, Shannon Rodden, Stan Britton bringing it to you here. As always, you can text in 972-742-3877, or you can tweet into the broadcast booth at Heath Hawks Voice or at Heath Hawks Radio. We'd love to hear where you're listening from, who you're cheering for, and we've got the county judge. We've got the school board president. My goodness, we got the athletic director. It's a crowd in the Heath Hawks broadcast booth here tonight. John Bailey, David Sweet.
Time.
Man, it's good to see you guys. As 25 will come to the plate, Caston Mason, the cleanup hitter for Coach Harvey and the Hawks. That one comes inside. Caston standing tall there, and he's knotted up at a ball and a strike here.
Frank Rogers listening in, as always, been a faithful follower of the Hawks for years.
1-1 pitch is low and away, or low and inside, 2 balls and a strike.
Frank Rogers and Judy Rogers, big-time sponsors of the Hawks all the time.
Grateful for all those who sponsor Heath Hawks baseball. Breaking ball hits that outside corner to even it up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
David Havener listening in. Son Preston from Grand Oaks got to play the Jackets last week.
2-2 misses, and Caston has drawn a full count from Daniel Cunningham here to lead off the second.
Preston Havenor played his freshman year for the Hawks, started out his sophomore year before moving. Glad to have y'all listening in from Houston.
Payoff pitch, swing and a miss, and Caston goes down on strikes. First strikeout of the game for Daniel Cunningham, and the first out in the home half of the second inning. And then the number 5 hitter, Zach Reich, that number 5 through 9 in the Hawks lineup, has been very strong in this postseason.
Yeah, Zach Wright, we talked about just being a leader.
Hard hit ball, fly ball right field. Coming over, can't make the catch in foul territory is the right fielder, Landry Poppin, and Wright dodged a bullet.
Yeah, Poppin had a long way to go, slid. There is a brick wall down there. It is not chain link, but making a good hustle. Almost got there, tried to slide, ball bouncing, and Zach Reich has more life. But Reich, as you had mentioned, leader on this team since his sophomore year, been in the lineup.
0-1 count to Reich here. And that one misses outside, and the count is even at a ball and a strike. Corner ballpark almost exactly symmetrical, 330 to each corner and left and right field, 360 to the power alleys, and 390 to straightaway center field. A 15-foot high wall from those between those power alleys. Flag poles on either side.
Eddie Ray Stutz listening in.
Cole Stillwell from Lubbock listening in.
2-1 pitch comes inside on Reich, and he is ahead now, 3 balls and a strike. 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Jackets lead 1-0. A sacrifice RBI in the top of the first put them on 3-1, and this one is fouled straight back. Reich battling here to a full count.
Got Martin Morgan listening in from Arkansas, former Hog parent, Baylor Cockrell, and of course Steve Glenn.
Payoff pitch to Zach Reich. And it misses upstairs, and Reich is aboard with a 1-out walk.
Boys, this is the murderer's row right here. They've done it the entire playoffs, and we need them another series to continue on doing what they've been doing. And here's our hottest hitter of the playoffs, Caleb Hoover.
Designated hitter, the freshman. Want to say hello and thanks for listening to my good friend Nathan White, the voice of Forney Jackrabbit Sports on Sportsgram. Nathan, thanks so much for following along tonight in this I-30 Classic Playoff Edition. 1 out, 1 aboard for Caleb Hoover, and the first pitch misses outside for ball 1.
Caleb Hoover batting under 300 in the regular season, but leads the team in batting average with 471 in the playoffs. Also leads the teams in hits, singles, triples, on-base percentage, slugging percentage, and second in RBIs with 12. That is a young man maturing.
Not too shabby for a freshman hitter.
Did you say freshman?
Freshman. I don't know how many times we could say that, but Cole Dillon will go out and have a conversation with Daniel Cunningham before the 1-0 pitch here.
He is on fire in the playoffs.
Ball comes home, and that one misses inside. And Caleb ahead now, 2 balls and no strikes.
Like we talked about, the top of the order, the 5 seniors carrying the team all season. Timbo, as you talked about, Murderer's Row balancing this team out.
Fastball comes home, swing and a miss for strike 1.
Johnny Lowe coming up right behind him. Hawks trying to get something going here in the second.
You know, they say behind every great man is a great woman. Megan Waters listening at home with head basketball coach Brad Waters. Megan, thanks so much. As strike 2 comes across, and it's knotted up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. You know, Coach Waters runs a heck of a basketball program.
You think?
He couldn't do it without the support of his family. And so we're grateful that you guys, I think, sitting at the kitchen table just listening to Hawks baseball tonight.
Nice.
Well, there was a lot of people. You probably got the same thing, text late in the day saying that the tickets were sold out. They went very quickly, so a lot of people listening in.
2-2 pitch to Hoover. Curveball is hit up the first base side and foul.
I have a special shout out. Got a 13-year-old birthday, Miss Tatum Rodden.
Man, y'all had a little bit of a party at a pretty big venue today.
Yeah, went to Six Flags. Had to stop by there for a little bit before coming over here. But Tatum is actually here at this game.
That's what
this
a
is
birthday
what she
present.
wanted to do.
Need the Hawks to give her a 13th birthday present. 2-2 pitch from Cunningham, dealing from the stretch, the belt tie hold, and he comes home. And Hoover, on 2 strikes, fouls that one back to the screen.
Yeah, Hoover just so much more relaxed there. We've seen it a lot with all these seniors. I remember the same thing with his brother Josh. Whole freshman year, these guys have been playing 15, 16-year-olds, sometimes 14-year-olds, now playing against 18-year-olds. Right about playoff time, they catch stride. And this young man has grown up. It has been a pleasure to watch.
Cunningham checks the runner at first and now comes home, and that one bounces in. And Hoover has drawn a full count. Timbo?
Yeah, I was just going to add to that Hoover's, if this kid goes and gets an 11 or 12 pitch at bat, it's nothing new. This is what he does. And he continues battling, and he's winning these battles, guys.
Yep, key moment in the game with the payoff pitch coming.
3-2 pitch. Way inside, and there are 2 aboard now as Hoover will trot down to first with back-to-back walks from Daniel Cunningham.
Yep, huge difference there with Hoover battling is now runners on first and second. Johnny Lowe, another one that has stepped up during the playoffs, batting under 200 in the regular season, 355 in the playoffs, and now comes up trying to even out this game for the Hawks.
And the Jackets are going to want to talk about it before Lowe comes to the plate. As our peanut gallery just exited quickly, like the Secret Service just jumped out of here. Always grateful for visits here in the booth from our Rockwall County leadership, school board president, Rockwall County judge, athletic director. I'm sure they have to make the rounds, you know.
Like we've always talked about, guys, best seat in the house. We are very fortunate to be able to do what we do.
All year long, boys.
Without a doubt, Johnny Lowe will come to the plate with 1 out, 2 aboard. Reich at second, Hoover at first. And if he is able to get aboard, it will be QB1 who stands on deck.
It's going to hit right here.
His at bat. Cunningham works from the first base side of the rubber. Brings the glove to the belt, checks the runner at second, now kicks and deals, and that one bounces in. Dylan having to do some gymnastics to keep that one in front of him. Hawks still looking for their first hit. The number 7 batter at the plate.
It's be a good time for it.
Pitch comes home. Strike called. A 1-1 count to Johnny Lowe. Standing room only at Joan and Andy Horner Ballpark, Dallas Baptist University. As sun sets here on Southwest Dallas. Hard hit ball, straight up in the air, shallow right field. The second baseman goes over and makes the catch, and there are 2 away.
Infield fly was in effect. A lot of people think that when it gets to the outfield grass, that is off, but it is actually, if the second baseman gets out there, camps out, and faces forward, first base umpire pointing up in the air, infield fly rule, and there's 2 away.
So Josh Hoover will come to the plate with 2 outs. Hawks looking for their first hit. Cunningham, a long look at second base, and this one's hard hit, left side. Will it stay fair? Catch is made just into foul territory, and the side is retired. Hoover put a charge into it, and it comes up just short.
Yeah, good catch by the left fielder for the Jackets. He went over, and the gate actually came open, so good job of making the catch there. So the Hawks, runners on first and second with 1 out, unable to do anything. We'll go to the third. Hawks down 1-0.
We'll keep it here. Timbo Duncan's been doing he's been feverishly writing over there. Some research. Timbo, what'd you find out?
Guys, I looked back, got the stats from Shannon, went through some stuff, and, you know, we keep bragging about the bottom part of the lineup. Bottom part of the lineup, they've been night and day from the regular season. And what I did look back at is in 2012, the all-state, all-tournament team. We had 6 players placed on that team. 6. 4 of those 6 were the Murderers Row, the 2012 team. The bottom 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think we're missing one. Yeah, there I'm losing count. But I guess where I'm going with all this is that this Hawk team this year, they resemble a lot of the Hawk team of 2012, and if they continue the progress of that, what we've seen the last 4 or 5 weeks, guys, I think we may have a place down next week.
Very strong showing by the bottom half of this Hawks order, especially here in the postseason. It'll be 9-1-2 for the Yellow Jackets here in the top of the third. Rollins, Reebok, and Randall. As Rollins, the hero in the play-in game, the sacrifice bunt as this one's hit for 1 pitch and 1 out as Stowers shakes to his right, makes the catch. And Rollins is retired. Back to the top of the order as Lowe will face now the second time through with Barrett Reebok. Drew a leadoff walk, came around and scored. His Jackets drew first blood in the top of the first.
Yep, Johnny settled in like we've expected him to since then.
First pitch bounces in for ball 1. We want to say thanks to Corky Randolph and the team over at Alliance Bank for sponsoring Heath Hawks broadcast this year. Very faithful sponsor who has made sure that we've been able to bring you over 80 broadcasts here for Heath Hawk Athletics. Corky Randolph and the Alliance Bank team. Breaking ball comes in, evens the count of the ball, and a strike to Barrett Reebok. High hold from Johnny, working quickly on 1-1. This one's fouled back to the screen.
The lights are on. Got a big crowd out there in the outfield hill. Standing room only. This thing holds about 1,200 seats, and they sold 2,000 tickets. What an atmosphere for a high school baseball game.
0-2 to Barrett Reebok. This one's a little chopper, high pop fly, left field, shallow left field, right coming in. Settles underneath it, and there are 2 away here in the top of the third.
Lowe doing a good job keeping him off balance, the low curve. Reebok going down after it.
Now a little teaser here, Shannon, about an inning and a half. We'll have baseball movie trivia. We got a little ahead of ourselves in that game 3 against Tomball. We were just so charged up that we went right past, just blew right past baseball movie trivia. Folks texting in asking what we were going to do. And here in about an inning and a half, we'll have it here in game 1 of this regional final between the Jackets and the Hawks. Long conversation with Braden Randall and Coach Barry Rose about 15 feet up the third base line. Randall will come back over to the left-handed batter's box with 2 away here in the top of the third and a 1-0 Yellow Jackets lead.
Got an easy one tonight. Movie A League of Their Own. You know, we're going to have a lot of listeners, one that a lot of people can participate in.
Foul ball back to the screen on first pitch. And Lowe is ahead of Randall. No balls and a strike.
Big shout out to Ron Pinkston and the Pinkston family listening in from Heath, Texas.
0-1 pitch. This is outside just a bit. A ball and a strike. We knew this was going to be a slugfest. It has been a pitcher's duel so far. The 1-1 pitch is fouled back. And it is a ball and 2 strikes now to Braden Randall.
Feels like we talk about a lot, big heavyweight bout. Who's going to land the first big punch?
On 1-2. Lowe comes upstairs with the fastball and misses outside. Count is knotted up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Jackets had a chance there in the first. Had runners on second, third, nobody out. Hawks fortunate to only give up the 1 run.
Time called at the plate as Randall will back out. Tara Daniels watching and cheering on the Hawks from Scroggins, Texas. And Drew Daniels' family, Paul Layton, saying go Hawks with a screenshot as this one is chopped right back to Lowe. Thrown over to Mason, and the side is retired. No runs on no hits. Through 2.5, it's 1-0 Yellow Jackets. We'll be back after these messages. Heath Hawks playoff baseball on RockwallISD.com and the SportsGram Network.
Mosley, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A at Ridge Road in North Rockwall, FSU, and Rockwall, Texas. This is my wife, Melissa. We are proud to serve you here in Rockwall. Come see us and eat some chicken, especially at our new location in the north end of town. We'd like to tell you we're proud supporters of Rockwall ISD, and hope you enjoy the game tonight.
Great crowd here at Horner Ballpark, Dallas Baptist University. 2.5 in the books. Yellow Jackets lead is 1-0 here in the home half of the third. It will be Stowers 5, Ash Croca 9-1-2 for Coach Harvey and the Hawks. Still looking for their first hit of the game. And an opportunity, you have to think, maybe an opportunity wasted in that bottom half of the second. Runners at first and second with 1 out, Shannon, and unable to get anything going.
Yeah, so far, like I say, first blood drawn to Yellow Jackets. One thing that we haven't talked about, Cunningham has been set up in the playoffs to be the number 3 starter and has not gotten to play yet in the playoffs, starting tonight over Mac Rose. So interesting, did not pick up on that early.
As Cunningham starts the third here, Stowers fouls one back third base side and out of play.
So Coach Rose changing up his lineup. I would imagine, at some point, not very many teams go 2-0, 4 series in a row, but getting his what would be a game 3 starter action here in game 1.
Outside corner for strike 2 to Stowers. No balls and 2 strikes now to lead off the third. This one's hit high, pop fly. Shortstop going out into shallow left, now called off. And the left fielder, Blake Bennett, will make the catch, and Stowers is retired to start the first. Back to the top of the order, and Caden 5, Ash. Caden pitching 2 2/3 innings of relief. His longest outing of the year, including a 16-pitch at bat. As he looks at strike 1 to start this at bat.
I ran into Alan 5 Ash at Lowe's the day after that we had gotten back, and we talked about that 16-pitch at bat.
As Cunningham has found that curveball, and he's ahead now, no balls and 2 strikes.
But what was bigger was after that, you can only throw strikes for so long. Walked him, gave up a hit, and then bowed up and shut down Tomball for 2 2/3 inning, going the extra full inning and catapulting these Hawks. That was a lot of fun.
1-2 pitch is upstairs. The count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two-two pitch. Foul back. 5 Ash staying alive here with 1 out in the bottom of the third and trailing 1-0.
5 Ash pulling that right shoulder out. I'd like to see him go opposite way with that pitch.
2-2. That one comes inside, and I think for the first time all season, watching Caden jump out of the way of an errant pitch.
No kidding.
He's a statue otherwise.
He didn't jump very far, though. He was just a little hot.
So payoff pitch to 5 Ash as Cunningham comes home. This one's hit high, pop fly, shallow left field again. Blake Bennett settles underneath it. And there are 2 away.
Hawks putting good swings on the ball so far, but everything seems to be going straight up.
Very little, if any, wind at all here at Horner Ballpark. The flag's laying still out in center field. As we are in the southwestern part of Dallas County, on the eastern edge of the campus of Dallas Baptist University, right across the greenbelt here from Dallas-Fort Worth National Cemetery. So that one hits outside corner for strike 1 to start the bat for Carson Croca. Curveball misses way outside for ball 1.
Yeah, Cunningham's curveball so far, quite a few balls bouncing in. I'd like to see the Hawks taking a little bit deeper into these counts.
1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Croca reaching across and can't catch up to it. And behind now, a ball and 2 strikes.
He is spotting his fastball well on that, especially on that outside corner.
Quickly comes home on 1-2. And the entire Yellow Jackets dugout and faithful thought they had him. But nevertheless, outside, called ball 2.
Catcher was sitting way outside, but he hit the mitt where he wanted to. Good idea.
2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and Croca goes down. Hawks are retired in order for the second time in 3 innings. No runs on no hits and nobody left. Yellow Jackets out of the dugout to greet their defense as they come off the field, and we'll keep it here as we go to the 4th. And Shannon, through 3 complete here, it's very much a pitcher's duel so far.
It is, like we talked about, drawing first blood so far, or drawing first blood, was the Yellow Jackets. They're in that first inning. One bad decision on a throw-in, and all of a sudden they had runners on second and third. Hawks doing a good job of holding it to 1 run, but nevertheless, so far, momentum leaning towards the Jackets as the Hawks got a couple on there in the second inning, but other than that, Cunningham doing a good job letting his defense work, and the Hawks, so far, everything just popping up.
And even that first inning, the score that the Jackets were able to put across, truthfully, on a fielder's choice that weren't able to get the out over at third. As Russ Childers poking his head in our booth, saying hello. Of course, Russ, school board member.
Come on, Cole, have some fun, buddy.
That mental mistake in the first inning, I guarantee if you ask Five Ash what he's going to do next time with that same play, it'll be different.
I would imagine so. As Lowe will face off against the 3-4-5 hitters, Cole Dillon, Andrew Telia, and Mac Rose. First pitch comes home, misses outside for ball 1. So a 1-0 count to lead off the Jacket half of the 4th. Hard hit, third base side, and foul. Dillon 0 for 1 on the night. Long look from Lowe as he comes to the high hold and then comes home, and that one is hit almost in the exact same spot, bounding foul at the third base side.
It's a nice 12-6 curveball right there by Johnny Lowe.
Trying to drop it in there. Gets Dillon to swing at it, and Johnny ahead now, a ball and 2 strikes. This one is hit. Hoover over at third, can't get his glove on it. That one had a little bit of English on it. It's going to trickle out into left field, and the throw is over, but not before Cole Dillon gets down to second on the little squibbler that went through the legs of Josh Hoover.
Yeah, Josh camped out on that thing, but what was worse, it got a good enough piece of it. It got past Carson Kuroka at shortstop all the way to left field. Zach Reich had a long way to go. Dillon doing a good job of reading that, getting to second base with an error and an extra base, and they have a runner on second with no outs.
Pinch runner in for the catcher, Dillon out at second base. First error of the game between these two clubs. As Andrew Telia will come to the plate with a runner in scoring position and nobody out in the 4th.
Expect a bunt here. Coach Rose teams known for their small ball.
Exactly what is the case. As Lowe misses high and away for ball 1.
Some of the Hogs have struggled with in the playoffs. You know it's going to become a factor at some point.
Lowe, a long look at Bazell, getting the signs, checks the runner at second. And a swing way outside, and Telia chases for strike 1.
Telia lining up to bunt, backing up, swinging away.
Corners playing it in on the grass. Mason at first, Hoover at third.
I expect him to put the bunt down this time with one ball and one strike.
1-1 pitch from Johnny Lowe. Pulls it back, throw down is out into center field. As Stowers coming in, Croca kind of stumbled going over to the bag, and the throw was off just a little bit from Kevin Bazell. And that could have been semantics.
Not sure. Coach Rose is coming down. I believe he went for that. You'll see the scoreboard showing 2 balls, 1 strike. Not sure if he's correcting it. I believe there might be, there's 1 ball, 2 strikes from the umpires. They are saying, and they have corrected it on the scoreboard. So now, advantage goes to Lowe. Interested to see if he will still lay down the bunt here.
So Lowe ahead, a ball and 2 strikes to Andrew Tellia with a runner at second. This one's hit. Chopper. 5-ash going out into shallow right field. Makes the catch, and the throw in holds the runner at second, and there's 1 away.
So good job by Johnny Lowe and Kevin Bazell battling the sacrifice there. So now there'll be 1 out with a man on second. As the Jackets, known for being able to get their sacrifices down, we'll see how that plays out here in the 4th inning.
Macros, one of the 2 strikeouts for Johnny Lowe in his first at bat. Holds up on ball 1.
Johnny struck him out with a high outside heat in his first time at bat.
Rose, big left-handed hitter. There's the pants pulled up to the knees.
Above the knees.
1-0 pitch, and this one's hit pop fly. Croca calling everybody off. Now can't find it. Stowers coming in, and he will make the catch. Hat falling off, glasses falling off, and Alex Stowers got on his horse coming in from center field and makes a great catch.
Good heads-up play by Stowers there as Croca took off backwards, lost it. I don't know if that was in the lights, but lost control, called for Stowers. Stowers had a long way to go. Records the second out here in the 4th inning.
So after the leadoff hit, the Jackets with 2 away, trying to keep the inning alive, and Lowe starts it off with strike 1.
The Hawks are able to get out of this jam. I would call it even from the first inning. You actually start thinking that you're in a pretty good spot if you can get out right here.
Tate Sloan, the batter. Behind in the count, no balls and a strike. Outside corner for strike 2. And Lowe working quickly ahead of him. No balls and 2 strikes.
This kind of reminds me of game 2 this season when the Hawks had won game 1, had an early lead but did not score enough runs. Then the Jackets, with back-to-back home runs, I believe in the 4th inning, kind of opened it up. And the Hawks, where it felt like they had a chance to open it up, didn't. Kind of reversing the roles here.
Johnny Lowe trying to finish the inning on a 2-strike count. That one's fouled back. Sloan staying alive.
Bazell asking for that last pitch way outside, and Johnny put it over the middle of the plate. Got lucky on that one.
That did look like he left that way inside from where Kevin Bazell was asking him to go for sure.
Bazell sets up outside. Misses, trying to get Sloan to chase it. And it's a ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, had to pitch the waste there.
Sloan is able to get aboard. The right fielder Landry Poppin will come to the plate. This one is hit right at Alex Stowers. Take about 5 steps to his right and make the catch. And we will keep it here in just a moment for baseball movie trivia. No runs on a hit and a man left as we go to the bottom of the 4th. And the Hawks trail 1-0 here on the I-30 Classic Playoff Edition. And Shannon Rodden from A League of Their Own. The baseball movie trivia question of the evening. You can text your answer into 972-742-3877, and the question is,
in the movie A League of Their Own, Coach Jimmy Dugan of the Rockford Peaches, played by none other than Tom Hanks, when one of his players does not respond well to criticism, what is the famous line that he says to his player in the iconic movie A League of Their Own? Text in 972-742-3877. When Coach Jimmy Dugan is criticizing one of his players, what is, and she does not respond well to it, what is the famous line?
extra points if they get the whole diatribe?
That it's, at the end of the day, it is one small phrase that we hear over and over for the last 20 some odd years.
First pitch to start the bottom of the fourth to Alex Stowers.
Kevin Bazell.
Bazell, excuse me. Looking at the wrong half of the inning. Number 9, Kevin Bazell. Number 3 hitter.
Got a lot of answers coming in. We'll give it to you next inning.
One pitch, and Bazell hits it back up the middle. Ground ball will get through for a leadoff base hit here in the fourth. And Bazell has his first hit of the series to start it off. The DBU commit puts the Hawks on the base paths with nobody out in the fourth.
Great job by Bazell. Low outside off-speed pitch, taking it right back up the middle. And the Hawks have a leadoff man aboard here in the fourth.
Got number 10, Ryan Butler, courtesy running for Bazell, guys.
Standing in front of Ryan's mom in the concession stand line. She said, thank you that we get to do this and bring Heath Hawks baseball out on SportsGram. Grateful that we do. Caston Mason stands in. That one comes across the inside corner for strike one. Mason, we've been affectionately calling 25 through these playoffs. Need some fireworks from Caston. We haven't seen that since it's been a minute, but he hit that long home run in the home game against the Jackets. Curveball hits that inside corner again, and Caston's behind. No balls and 2 strikes. A lot of argument about that home run, if it stayed fair or not, because it was an absolute moonshot.
It was a no-doubter. Caston batting .371 on the season, leading the team in RBIs with 44.
Let's get an RBI and a run scored here and 4 total bases for Caston Mason.
If you are texting in, and I do not know, we're not in regular contact, make sure you tell me who you are. We have a lot of information. You're also being corrected. You keep saying Landry Poppin. It's Mason Poppin.
Mason, I'm sorry.
That's the last pitch fouled off.
Eddie Studs, Scott Fleming, Tracy Butler, Tim Arian, Haley Putnam, as always.
0-2 count to Caston Mason. This one's hit up the first base side and foul.
Mike Gray, Jason Brown. Haven't heard from him in a while. His boys graduated. They're part of the DBU fishing team.
Caston Mason did a great job fouling off that inside curveball, that last pitch.
Jason Stillwell participating in trivia and also keeping up with the game.
There you go.
As always.
0-2 pitch to Mason. This is way outside for ball one. My apologies to the Poppin family, calling out Landry instead of Mason.
Kelsey Lambright, Josh DeLoach, a lot of participation.
Josh DeLoach.
1-2 pitch. This one's fouled back to the screen. Caston staying alive on 2 strikes, with no outs here in the bottom of the fourth.
This is his 8th pitch, I believe, guys. He looked at 2 strikes. He fouled 2 off. He took a ball. He fouled that one off.
Butler down at first.
Key point in the game because we're in the 4th inning.
That one hits him, and Mason is hit by a pitch, and there are 2 aboard for the second time in 4 innings with nobody out. A runner at first and second.
That is a key moment right there, because like we said, if they were unable to get anything going in this inning, it's going to be probably the 6th inning before the top of the lineup comes back up. But instead, now the Hawks, runners on first and second, nobody out, and the senior Zach Wright coming to plate, and Caleb Hoover on deck. The Hawks are going to get back in this one. Not that they're out of it, but like to see them get the game evened up here.
Zach Wright, guys, he's been a mainstay since, his sophomore year. Played entire career hurt. Plays better hurt than he does when he's not hurt, and I think he's hurt, and let's go get some RBIs.
Blake Greener listening in, Robert Kirsch.
Wright drew a walk in his first at bat. Showing bunt as Cunningham turns around to look the runner back.
Harvey dialing up the bunt there.
I think Coach Rose is just trying to see exactly what the Hawks were going to do and on that defensive play with that third baseman charging.
This is the chess game between 2 storied coaches.
Reich showing bunt, puts it down first base side. What a bunt, moves the runners 90 feet, and the sacrifice works to perfection from Zach Wright.
That's exactly what we've been needing. We've talked about it often throughout the playoffs. Hawks not always getting it done, and you think this doesn't matter. The Hawks dugout out to greet him as he has done his job. Now runners on second, third, 1 out, and the hot-hitting Caleb Hoover up.
We've told our listeners and our viewers what grade he is, right? Have we talked about that throughout?
It is no longer. He's a sophomore, boys.
That's true. School's out. Caleb Hoover's a sophomore,
right.
But right now he's a freshman.
Fabulous freshman.
Big swing. He was trying to go for it all right there on the first pitch.
He is what you call a ball player.
Hoover, lots of interest from collegiate programs.
Big at bat here.
Caleb has had a couple of huge RBIs in the playoffs. That one misses way outside. Throw down, not in time. Andrew Tellia thought he had him in time.
Tellia making a perfect throw there as Butler got way off the bag. That was a perfect throw. And Coach Rose wants to come out and talk to the third base umpire about that one, as it was a strike, but the umpire right there on top of it called safe immediately. The Hawks dodge a bullet, as you want to talk about what momentum would have been had that not gone the Hawks' way.
Ryan Butler, the runner at third, sliding back in. Third base umpire.
I think Coach Rose called that.
Here's the opinion of Coach Rose. Does not change what happened. And so Hoover will stand in with a ball and a strike and 1 out. Runners at second and third.
They are in a staring contest here. Trying to see who flinches.
Caston Mason with a healthy lead at second. And then Hoover fouls this one back. And he's behind in the count now, a ball and 2 strikes.
Right here, anything in play on the right side. It hits the ground. Butler will certainly be going for a deep fly ball.
Hoover able to pull. Field playing a little bit in. Outside, and misses. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cole Dillon was set up outside on that one and had to lean his glove to the left. So a good call there.
Cunningham hit the mitt right where he wanted to, guys.
2-2 pitch to Caleb Hoover. Fouled back. Hoover stayed alive with 2 strikes.
So Hoover now into his 6th pitch of the at-bat, battling.
So a 2-2 pitch to Caleb Hoover with two runners on and 1 out in the home half of the 4th, trailing 1-0. Holds up and runs the count full as that curveball broke in just a little too much. And a mature check swing by Caleb Hoover right there.
So full count here.
Fastball, breaking ball.
He's going fastball.
Cunningham comes home. Fastball is hit left side. Tailing away from the left fielder, Poppin. Comes over, makes the catch. Runners have to hold on the left side of the infield. That is Mason Poppin.
So the Hawks flinch first.
Excuse me, Lake Bennett in left, Mason Poppin in right. I can't even get where they're playing right.
Yep, the fastball came in. Hoover got a piece of it, but not deep enough for the sacrifice. And now 2 outs with runners on second and third for Johnny Lowe.
Hawks get 2 aboard with nobody out for the second time in 4 innings. And it's up to Johnny Lowe to capitalize. Infield playing deep. First pitch. Fastball strike.
Need Johnny Lowe to get one of those hits that he got at Skyline. Still going.
Yeah, he is not afraid to turn on one.
0-1 pitch. Curveball. Pretty pitch from Daniel Cunningham. Pitch number 67 on the night for him. And he's ahead of Johnny Lowe. No balls and 2 strikes. Oh, 2 pitch. Thought he could get Lowe to chase. This is way outside. Dillon doing a good job keeping that one in front of him. And it's a ball and 2 strikes to Johnny Lowe.
Aubrey Mayburn participating in movie trivia.
Curveball comes in and misses. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two-2 pitch to Johnny Lowe with 2 outs and 2 on. This one's hard hit up the first base side and out of play, foul. Hawk football boosters tweeting in. What a great year for our Hawks. I could not agree more.
Cunningham up to 66 pitches.
2-2. And this one's fouled back. Lowe trying to put a good swing on it. Stay alive with 2 strikes.
He just missed that, you guys. I got a little excited over here. Sorry.
Hawks need a little pop here. 2-2 pitch to Johnny Lowe. Runners at second and third. 2 outs. Bottom of the 4th. Looking for a score. Swing and a miss. And Cunningham gets out of a jam.
Huge moment in the game as Cunningham, with runners on second and third, and only 1 out, shuts down the Hawks and preserves a 1-0 lead for the Jackets as they came storming out of the dugout there. Key moment in the game so far. So we're going to go to the 5th inning. Baseball movie trivia, the answer, of course, in the movie A League of Their Own. There is no crying in baseball. Appreciate everyone listening in. Tonight's winner of the $25 gift certificate to Rockwall Sports Center is Aubrey Mayburn, who is listening in from College Station, cheering on the Hawks. She was the Hawks manager from 2016 to 2019. Aubrey, we miss you. Glad you could listen in. Congratulations. Send me your address. I'll get you out that gift certificate.
Called her name a couple of times. Lineups there. She does a great job for Coach Harvey and keeping all of our players on the field.
James Boxley listening in, head coach at Tyler Legacy. Watching 2 district foes. Legacy beat the Jackets in district play.
Forced that playoff game. Did Legacy by beating the Jackets. So the top of the 5th.
Scott Myers listening in from Mineola, Texas.
Will be Mason Poppin, Bennett, Rollins, 7, 8, 9 in the order here in the top of the 5th. Curveball from Johnny Lowe starts it off with a strike.
Brandy Wheaton also participating. Appreciate everyone playing along.
0-1 pitch. This one's back up the middle. and tailing out into left field. Reich will scoop it up, and Poppin is aboard with a leadoff single in the 5th.
So Poppin, another one of those players for both teams at bottom of the order, coming alive in the playoffs. Give the Jackets a leadoff single.
Took a fastball to left field, guys. He was right on it, and no confusing that kid.
Only the 3rd hit of the game given up by Johnny Lowe. So Lake Bennett will come to the plate, showing bunt. Bazell up quickly.
So in the playoff, or the play-in game, where the district seeding, remember it was a pitching duel, but it was a lot of walks, turned into a scoring fest late.
The 1-0 pitch from Lowe, outside corner for strike 1.
Of course, neither team able to use their starters as they were heading into bi-district play, but an entertaining game nonetheless.
Guys, got a couple of Hawks. Listen in. Belsky, Benefield, and Lewis, Verhagen. Shout out for them right there.
Well, that's some names from the past there.
1-1 pitch, bunted up the first base side and foul. Our good friend Tanya Miller tweeting in, "Let's go Hawks, you can do this, win the day."
That's a bunch, that Belsky, Benefield, Lewis, and Verhagen, man. Those guys were a hoot to be around. Good baseball players right there.
So Lowe ahead in the count now, a ball and 2 strikes to Lake Bennett. Nobody out, top of the 5th. Jackets holding on to a 1-0 lead. This one misses way inside. The count is even now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Very subdued crowd right now after a lot of raucous back and forth through the first 4. As that one comes way inside on Bennett. Even further inside than the last one, and the count is full.
He had to duck out of the way as that came over his head, and the count is now full. You definitely don't want to give up a walk here with no outs.
3-2 pitch. Long look in from Johnny. Comes to the high hold. Checks the runner at first. Now comes home. Swung on. Left side. Croker was playing over as Poppin will round second. Coming into third. Sliding. And there are runners on the corners with a base hit from Lake Bennett and nobody out in the 5th.
Poppin was on the move there, so Carson Kuroka had moved over to cover second base, and he was at full stride, so he was able to get around to third easily. And now there'll be runners at the corners, no outs, and Coach Harvey's going to come out and talk to Johnny Lowe.
So Lowe got behind there with the 2 late errant pitches, runs the count full, and Lake Bennett takes it to left field on the ground. A perfectly placed ground ball that puts runners on the corners here in the top of the 5th. Only the 5th hit between these 2 teams, number 4 for the Yellow Jackets.
You know, guys, Coach Harvey going out there right now, he's just telling them, hey, guys, just play Hawk baseball. We're going to be fine. Just continue doing what we do. Let's hold them right here. And Johnny's going to keep, if he keeps us in there, we need a double play ball, or we need to get this guy out at the plate, whatever is going to happen here. I guarantee Coach Rose, if he has an opportunity to try to score, he's going to do it. So let's keep him from it and stay in the game.
Rollins had the walk-off bunt against the Hawks in that play-in game. Maybe he asked to do that here, because they have runners on the corners with no outs here in the 5th. Bazell going to come out and give his signal. And the chess game continues between the coaches.
Rollins stands in, right-handed hitter. Runners at first and third, and nobody out. Pitch out, and Bazell coming up, looking, popping back to third base.
Yeah, Hoover not quite over there in time for Bazell to pull the trigger, but he had Poppin way off.
1-0 pitch from Johnny Lowe. This one is bunted up the first base side and foul. Rollins putting that one way out there. It would have been enough to score the run if it had stayed fair. But instead, we'll come back and do it again with 1 ball and 1 strike.
Just got a message from Drew Verhagen. He's watching from Japan where he's still playing ball and still making money. Attaboy, Drew.
One of the first out of the Heath Hawks baseball program to play professional baseball. 1-1 pitch, another pitch out, and that one goes over Hoover's head as Poppin will come up and run down on the errant throw from Buzzell, and the fielding error scores the run.
For the second time in the game, the Hawks had the Jackets dead to right, let them off the hook. As they had the pitch out, Buzzell throwing it down to Hoover, bounces off his glove instead of getting the first out of the game. Goes into left field. The score now 2-0. No outs and a runner on second as the Hawks Mitchell for the second time in the game.
Hoover
was in the field.
Hoover was going down to make the tag, and it was a bang-bang play down there. Just didn't have full grasp of the ball before he went down to make the tag. So back at the plate, a 2-1 count.
Oh,
that looked close.
We got away.
Johnny close to a balk there. Able to pull that left foot up, or the right foot up first. Bunting situation here now.
2-1 pitch to Rollins. Pulls it back, strike 2. Johnny needs to come back here and get this out.
Coach Rose trying to get that runner over to third. Willing to sacrifice the hitter Rollins. Getting back to that top of the order. So we're back where we were in the first inning. Hawks try to minimize the damage.
Runner at second, Bennett. The big lead. Rollins showing bunt. Low misses just outside, and the count is full.
Big pitch right here, guys.
Bear, Reebok on deck. As we'll go back to the top of the order. Payoff pitch from Johnny Lowe. Checks the runner. Now comes home. And this one is nubbed into shallow left field. It'll get down for fair ball. And Rose will hold up the runner, Bennett, at third. And that one just slow motion lands about 4 inches inside the left field line in shallow left field.
Yeah, Rollins had squared like he was going to bunt, and off the handle just falls into no man's land.
The Hawks had no play on that hit.
Coach Rose holding his runner up at third. He's got the top of his lineup coming up. Once again, runners at the corners. No outs, already one across here in the fifth. Jackets lead 2-0. Looking for more. Coach Harvey comes out of the dugout. He's going to go back out to the mound. This may be it for Johnny Lowe.
So Harvey working quickly there, as he will have a conversation with Buzzell and Lowe. Lowe will stay in the game as Harvey goes out quickly and then turns right back around.
I thought Harvey had already been out this inning.
He's checking on anybody had an injury.
Oh, gotcha. So he's coming out for an injury.
Got 3 Belskis listening in. We got Daddy Belsky and Mark listening from Houston, and Matt, the son, listening in from Heath, Texas.
So 2-0 the score in the top of the fifth. Yellow Jackets lead. Hawks are no runs on a hit, 2 errors in the field. 2 runs on 5 hits for the Yellow Jackets. As Lowe comes set to the leadoff hitter, Barrett Reebok. Outside, Buzzell coming up. Pump fake down the first baseline, and the runners go back. The 1-0 pitch from Johnny Lowe. Swing and a miss from Reebok. Shout out to head softball coach Gerard Hunter listening in tonight. Good run for Heath Hawks softball this year.
Very impressive run.
One of the best records in school history. Ranked in the state at one point. The 1-1 pitch fouled back. Beautiful sunset here at Horner Ballpark. Some oranges and pinks out there in left field, overlooking Mountain Creek Lake here in southwest Dallas on the border of Dallas and Grand Prairie. And a slugfest between these two teams. 1-2 pitch to Barrett Reebok inside, and Bazell having to dive out in front of it to keep it from getting away, and Lowe evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Good job by Bazell there. Wants to come out and talk to Johnny, slow everything down for the 2-2 count. This inning feels like it's been going on a while. 1 run already across for the Jackets. Runs at the corners with no outs. Kind of feel like they do too much damage here. We're already in the 5th inning. The Hawks can hold it even to 3. They have the ability to turn it around quick.
70 pitches and 4+ for Johnny Lowe. This one is chopped up, pop fly, shallow left field, and it's in that no man's land again. Croca able to make the catch. Now throwing it back in to hold the runner at third, and a good play by Carson Croca coming over from shortstop. And a long run.
Carson had to go a long ways as that ball, I believe it was going to land foul there. Wasn't too sure, but nevertheless, catching on a dead run, flipping it back in as it was shallow in the outfield, saving a run, not able to tag up. The runner on first was out there, had to retreat, so no damage done there on a great play by Carson Croca, and there's 1 out now in the 5th. Jackets still with runners at the corners.
So Braden Randall will come to the plate. Bazell coming out in front of home plate, setting up the defense. Randall 1 for 2. Stranded back in the 3rd. He's showing bunt right out in front of the plate. Lowe will bring it home to Bazell and got him at home. What a play off the mound from Johnny Lowe. And there are 2 away here in the top of the 5th.
Great play by Lowe. The bunt did not get out of the batter's box. Lowe quick off the mound. It was a suicide squeeze. So the runner was going. Lowe able to get it to Bazell, and save the run from scoring. And now there are 2 outs with runners on first and second. It's huge if the Hawks can get out right here with no more damage.
Rollins at second, Randall at first, and Cole Dillon at the plate. Shannon mentioned 2 outs. As Lowe will look the runner back to second base.
Talk about in all of these playoff games, or in the series, so many moments play a factor.
Outside misses for ball 1.
So far, most going in the Jackets' favor, but the Hawks have made a number of plays, keeping them in this ball game. We'll see how it factors out over the next 2.5 innings.
1-0 pitch. That one misses. And Lowe falls behind Cole Dillon. 2 balls and no strikes.
Shout out to Cheech Christian listening in from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Former Heath Hawk football player.
2-0 pitch. There it is over the outside corner for strike 1.
Hawk student section getting here early, taking up that whole middle section with the whiteout. Fans behind them having to look over them.
The dark side showing out here in this regional final. 2-1 pitch. That one goes back to the screen. It rebounds right back to Kevin Bazell, but the runners advance on the wild pitch.
First pass ball of the game for Bazell, moves the runners up. Now 2 runners in scoring position. Be a shame for the Hawks to work back from the mess they were in, not be able to get out of this. But now First base wide open.
3-1 pitch, and that one misses, and Dillon will be aboard. The bases will be loaded for the cleanup hitter, Andrew Telia.
Not a bad move there, though. When you had first base open, Lowe just taking the fastball outside, rather face Telia. But now the bases are loaded. You got a pinch or courtesy runner coming in.
Blockade Spirit Builders. We know our Heath Hawks baseball team is in it to win it. Let's go Hawks and win the day. Absolutely. That tweet coming in.
Corbin Cleveland listening in. I believe he's still in Columbus, Ohio.
Telia, right-handed hitter. Strike one across the outside corner.
Good first pitch fastball by Lowe.
Coach Selznoff, the Hawks wrestling coach, him and his family listening in from Heath, Texas.
Telia, the first strikeout victim of Lowe back in the first. And Johnny's ahead of him. No balls and a strike here. Kicks and deals. One misses outside, and that one gets away. And the wild pitch will score another run. And the Jackets' lead is 3-0.
Uncharacteristic. 2 balls getting by Bazell here late in this inning. And the Jackets now lead 3-0. And runners on second and third.
A ball and a strike to Andrew Telia. And Lowe having a hard time locating on that outside corner.
Jackets with 5 hits tonight. Hawks only with 1.
2-1 pitch. And Lowe falls behind. 3 balls and a strike. First base is open. Mac Rose, the first baseman, waiting on deck. 2 runs across here in the top half of the 5th. And Telia draws a walk. And so for the second time in this inning, the bases are loaded. And the first baseman, Mac Rose, will come to the plate. Rose 0 for 2 tonight. Strikeout victim of Lowe as well.
Johnny Lowe at pitch 81. Coach Harvey normally sticking with the junior pitcher as he has battled through a lot of situations, but right now, kind of get the feeling any more across for the Jackets. The way Cunningham's pitching, starting to put a lot of heat on the Hawks here in game 1.
Lowe trying to get out of the 5th. Fastball for strike 1. One pitch comes inside on Rose, and the count is even at a ball and a strike.
Lowe battling.
One pitch comes home. Inside corner for strike 2.
Nice fastball in that inside corner. Rose thought it was low.
It was Johnny Lowe for strike 2. Trying to get the final strike across for this 5th inning.
High heat fastball on that outside.
This is just outside. You called it, but it was a little too far outside. And the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, trying to get him to chase like he did in his first at bat. Good job by Rose, laying off.
Way inside. Rose having to back out of the way, and the count is full.
Now back to a full count again. Bases loaded, nowhere to put Rose. Crowd.
Yellow Jackets crowd coming to their feet. Mac Rose going through his routine, now steps back in. 3-2 pitch from Johnny Lowe. Runners are going, and that one misses. And Johnny walks in, run number 4.
Coach, that's going to bring out Coach Harvey, as that is going to be it for Johnny Lowe. Jackets 1 in the first, adding 3 here in the 5th. Now up 4-0. Hawks with 1 hit tonight against Cunningham.
Johnny not having his best performance of the season, that's for sure. He'll get back in the saddle. We just hang tough here, and you know what? Believe in the Hawks.
Line on Johnny Lowe, 4 2/3 innings pitched, 89 pitches, give up 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 strikeouts, and 4 walks. And that'll be it for the night.
Running in from the left field bullpen appears to be number 6, Drew Daniels, who has come on strong here in the late goings of the season. We're going to take a break while he takes his warm-ups, and we'll be back to tell you about the new pitcher. In the top half of the 5th, it's Jackets 4, Hawks nothing. We'll be back. This is Heath Hawks Playoff Baseball on RockwallISD.com. Brought to you by the Sportsgram Network.
Hi, I'm K.R. Hooks, and I'm a Rockwall High School 2004 alumni, and my family owns Rockwall Sports Center.
And hi, my name's Taylor Bullock, and I have worked at Rockwall Sports Center for 5 years now, and I'm also a Rockwall alumni that graduated in 2007.
We grew up here, we've started families here, and we decided to open Rockwall Sports Center to help serve our communities and our schools.
We currently do custom uniforms and custom spirit wear for all of Rockwall ISD, including exclusive Under Armour decorated pieces that cannot be found anywhere else. Come check out all of our women's pieces, including our new bleach hoodies and t-shirts.
From elementary to high school, we're here to take care of our friends, family, and community.
And that's why you should shop at Rockwall Sports Center.
And that's why we love Rockwall ISD.
So the Hawks call on Drew Daniels, a sophomore, spent the regular season on JV, came in the Mansfield series, round 2, as coach put him in, and he goes 5 complete, keeping the Hawks in it, where they eventually won in the 9th inning. He is now making his 4th appearance of the playoffs.
So Bazell and Daniels will convene out in front of the mound. Make sure they get the signs correct.
Bases loaded with 2 outs. Hawks had battled back. Looked like they were possibly going to get out of this 5th inning with only 1 run scored. 3 runs across now and still going.
Tate Sloan, the second baseman, 0 for 2 on the night as Daniels misses on his first pitch, ball 1.
Important to throw strikes here. The Hawks just giving away too much.
Drew working quickly. This one's hit at Zach Reich, having to go back to chase it down. It's going to bound up against the bottom of the wall. 1 run is home. 2 runs are home. Rose is holding up the runner at third. And Tate Sloan with a 2-out, 2 RBI double to extend the Jackets' lead to 6-0.
Tate Sloan, the 5-hole hitter, coming through big for the Jackets. Jumped all over the fastball. It short hopped the fence with all the runners going. Jackets score 2 more for their 5th run of the 5th inning. Take a 6-0 lead now with runners on second, third.
Doesn't get any easier here either.
So Mason Poppin comes to the plate. Poppin 2 for 2 on the night with a run scored. As Gazelle having to dive after that pitch outside, ball 1. Runners at second and third for the Jackets. Sloan at second, Mac Rose at third. On 1-0, that one's in the dirt.
So the big punch is being landed by the Yellow Jackets tonight as they are on their feet. They're filling it up 6-0 here in the 5th.
2-0 pitch is hit hard. Straightaway center field. Croca going back. Stowers coming in. Croca makes the catch. Lots of damage done. 5 runs on 4 hits. They leave 2. We're going to the bottom of the 5th. It's Yellow Jackets 6, Hawks nothing. We'll be back after these messages. on RockwallISD.com, powered by the SportsGram Network. Back at Joan and Andy Horner Ballpark, Dallas Baptist University, a big top half of the fifth for the Yellow Jackets. They score 5 runs on 4 hits. They lead your Hawks 6-0 as we go to the home half of the fifth. It will be 8-9-1 Hoover, Stowers, and 5-Ash for the Hawks in this home half, as that one comes inside tight to Josh to lead it off for ball 1. 1-0 pitch is in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes to QB1. Timbo Duncan, Shannon Rodden, Stan Britton, Brian James behind the camera for you here on RockwallISD.com and the SportsGram Network on this 2-0 pitch. Fastball strike from Daniel Cunningham. Cunningham, 74 pitches on the night, through 4 complete. The 2-1 pitch is back up the middle. Fly ball, center field. Reebok settles underneath it, and there is 1 away here in the home half of the fifth.
Everything the Hawks have hit has been in the air tonight. Cunningham not showing any ill effects from being off the last 4 weeks.
So Stowers will come to the plate. 0 for 1 on the night. Only his second at bat here in the home half of the fifth. And that one comes behind him. Alex having to bend out of the way of ball 1.
Got the Holloman family and the Lewis family all listening in from Heath, Texas.
Coach Travis Hallam, girls basketball coach at Heath.
That was the Holloman family.
Holloman. Brenner is actually here, former Heath Hawk.
Second pitch misses 2-0 to Stowers, and that one comes back across the plate for strike 1.
At this point, Hawks looking for anything positive. Get some runners on base.
Cunningham working quickly, and the 2-1 pitch misses, and Stowers ahead in the count now. 3 balls and a strike. Three-one pitch, hard hit ball. Wow, what a play by Mac Rose over at first. And not much you can do about that one.
Stowers hit a rocket. Mac Rose going to his right, making a great catch. And there are now 2 outs in the fifth. Nothing going well for the Hawks.
As 5-Ash back to the top of the order, and he hits this one straight up. As that one comes down, third baseman coming over to make the play is Telia. And the Hawks are retired. No runs on no hits, nobody left. Going to the 6th. And you can feel it here. The Jackets 6 outs away from taking game 1.
Yeah, coming out of the dugout there, I mean, obviously have every right to feel good about how their game is going. See the Hawks dugout a little flat. We've seen this in 2 out of the 4 series so far here in the playoffs, where the Hawks come out flat. Obviously not looking past the Jackets. There's a lot on the line at this point, and mutual respect, but the Hawks just not getting any of the breaks. Jackets making their breaks, and starting to feel like it's slipping away. As I said, the Hawks Important to come out now, shut them down here. Try to get something going with the bats, but so far tonight, Cunningham only 1 hit, 3 strikeouts, 2 balls. He is 82 pitches in, so he's got plenty of pitches to go the distance. The Hawks don't get something going.
8-9-1 for the Jackets in the 6th. It will be Bennett, Rollins, and Reebok. Of course, we'll take a break tomorrow. It is graduation for both of these schools at Globe Life Field. Hawks graduate at noon. Jackets graduate later in the afternoon tomorrow as Bennett fouls this one off the first base side. So we'll take a break on Thursday. We'll come back on Friday at 2 o'clock here at Horner Ballpark. Pre-game at 1:30. First pitch at 2 for Game 2 in this best-of-3 series. Swing and a miss. And Daniels is ahead of Bennett. No balls and 2 strikes.
Daniels not afraid to challenge him here. He's been doing a good job all playoffs, so I expect a challenge pitch right here.
High hold from Daniels. Now comes home. And this one is hit pop fly center field. Stowers started back, now coming in, and he will make the catch.
Shout out to the Seals family listening in from Heath, Texas.
Another baseball family.
Hunter Seals played a lot of baseball for the Hawks.
Number 9 hitter Tyler Rollins, in his last at bat, hit one out into no man's land in left field. RBI single. With 1 out here in the 6th, showing bunt.
The Hawks have had their opportunities tonight, stranding runners in scoring position in the 1st and in the 4th innings.
Daniels ahead, no balls and a strike. Went way outside. Thought that Rollins might chase, but he holds off. And it's a 1-1 count to the number 9 hitter.
Bad thing about this one, having to sit on it.
Another hard hit ball. Stowers coming over, Johnson coming in, and Aiden Johnson will make. There's Johnny Lowe in right field, excuse me, after the pitching change. Johnny's out there, and he catches the 2nd out of the inning.
The Rowland family's saying hello.
So the center fielder, Barrett Reebok, the number 1 or the leadoff hitter for the Jackets, 0 for 2 on the night.
Joe Rowland calling a 6-run inning coming up in the 6th for the Hawks.
We'll take that. 6 at 6. Barrett Reebok 0 for 2, got a walk and a run scored. And Daniels falls behind him, 2 balls and no strikes. Daniels working quickly here in the top of the 6th. He's missed on 3 straight, and he's behind. 3 balls and no strikes.
Looked like that zone got a little tight right there the last 2 pitches.
3-0. And a 4-pitch walk to Barrett Reebok to keep the Jackets half alive with 2 outs. And Braden Randall coming to the plate. He is 1 for 3 and a run scored.
Good ball player right there.
Braden, our friends on the Orange and White broadcast affectionately call him Smooth Randall. With 2 away and 1 aboard here in the top of the 6th. That's 5 straight balls from Andrew Daniels as he's behind now. A ball and no strikes to Randall.
And it's where we got to bear down when we got 2 outs and get this last out, get it done.
Infield playing back, middle infield playing back. Mason holding the runner at first. Huber at normal depth. As this one misses. Daniels trying to keep the ball down, missing the lower part of the zone. Pitching for a ground ball.
Daniels getting the first 2 outs quickly here in the 6th.
And that one's hit right at Mason. He'll pick it up and a couple of steps over. Puts a foot on the bag, and the Jackets are retired in the 6th. No runs on a hit. Or excuse me, no runs on no hits. They leave a man. And going to the bottom of the 6th, and Mr. Rowland to be correct. Hawks have got 2 innings to put 6 runs on the board if they want to have a chance at taking game 1 here in this best-of-3 series.
Coach Harvey over there grouped up with the guys, talking to them. And, this is the biggest game of the year for them, and I think they might be pressuring themselves a little bit more than they need to. And I think he's going to let them know about it. Say, hey, guys, just play yourself. Do yourself. Don't do more than you have to. Just play like you've been playing all year long. We'll be fine.
These Hawks know how to battle. Gotten themselves out of a couple of jams throughout this season and this postseason. Also not afraid to play the best-of-3 series. As the Hawks in danger of dropping their third game 1 here in this postseason.
This feels a lot like the Skyline game, the homecoming game. It's not the homecoming, the senior night game. Had a lot of pop-ups. It's not a lot of life, a lot of fire in them. And hopefully Croker can start us off here.
So Croker will lead it off in the home half of the 6th. Croker, Bazell, and Mason, 2, 3, 4 in the lineup.
So the Jackets definitely drawing first blood here in the series. Hawks have come back.
First pitch fastball to Croker is across for strike 1.
From a 6-run deficit last time these two teams played.
Hawks were down
12-6.
We're up 6-4, and the Jackets score 8 runs to go up 12-6. Hawks tie it at 12. As Croker pops this one straight up. Third baseman Telia coming into foul territory down the line and makes the catch. Croker retired. So Kevin Bazell coming to the plate. Hard hit ground ball to get aboard for his first hit of the series in his last at bat.
Only hit of the game so far for the Hawks.
Got Clayton Raspberry and his daddy Wade Raspberry listening in. Clayton, one of those Hawks that got the all-tournament team and the all-state team.
One out to Bazell, and he hits this one hard down the left field line and foul. Turned on it. Kevin able to change the complexion of a ball game very quickly. Behind now, no balls and a strike. Strike 2 quickly to Bazell. And Cunningham is dealing.
Kevin felt that was a little bit high. I'm with him.
87 pitches for Daniel Cunningham as that one misses. And it's a ball and 2 strikes to Kevin Bazell.
Cunningham's pitched a heck of a game, guys, for the Jackets.
Yeah, no doubt about it. There's nothing cheap about what the Jackets have done tonight.
1-2 pitches hit hard foul third base side. Andrew Telia giving it his all over there. Diving catch.
That's a nice play, huh?
Great play by Telia. If that had been fair, it would have been close at first.
Yeah.
And again, the 1-2 pitch. Oh, that hits Kevin in the head. Right off the helmet. Kevin will trot down to first. The home plate umpire going with him about a third of the way. And Kevin is fine. Tough player. He's only been hit in the mouth with a baseball bat once this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cunningham coming off the mound there definitely did not mean to up 6-0.
No.
Fastball just got away from him.
In fact, they were talking to each other, and it wasn't anything bad, guys. He was telling him he's all right, and Cunningham was asking if he was okay.
Checking on him still off the first base side of the mound.
Good sportsmanship, guys.
Bazell shaking it off over at first and aboard for Caston Mason. First pitch comes inside to Caston, and he is hitless with a strikeout in 2 plate appearances tonight. Barry Rose will come to the plate, or come to the mound, have a conversation with his pitcher.
Yeah, he's just coming out telling them, look, you're up 6 runs. Throw strikes. Just gave up the walk. Just want to slow down the pace. Remind him where they're at in the game. 90 pitches in. Only giving up 1 hit, 3 strikeouts, and 2 walks tonight.
Little side note, Clayton Raspberry, playing for Murray State, was named the MVP of their tournament this last weekend. Former Heath Hawk right there. Still getting it done.
Congratulations. So back to the action. Mason will stand in with a 1-0 count. 1 aboard and 1 out here in the home half of the 6th. Trailing 6-0. Cunningham checks the runner. Now that one hits the outside corner. Mason didn't think so, but it's even now at a ball and a strike. Cunningham, normally the Game 3 starter. Rose putting him out there in Game 1 as Bazell slides in safely over at first. Kevin still running over there with only one out. Daniel from the stretch now. Comes to the high hold, sets at the belt. And that one comes inside. Two balls and one strike to 25. Infield playing back. No doubles. Hard hit up the first base side, foul.
Hawks just looking for anything positive right now.
Caston hitting .371 coming into this game. Looking for his first hit here on 2-2. This one is fouled off to the third base side. New baseball from the home plate umpire as Cunningham walks around the first base side. Now comes set. Dealing from the stretch. Mason crowding the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. This is way outside, and he's run the count full.
Be interesting to see what Coach Harvey does in Game 2. Josh Hoover started most of the year as the Friday starter. Baylor Bauman in the last 3 series pitching Game 2.
3-2 runner going, and Bazell will go down to second. It doesn't matter as the walk is issued, and for the 3rd time tonight, the Hawks have runners at first and second with less than 2 outs.
Good at bat by Mason. As he puts the second one, Coach Rose is going to come out. That will be it for Cunningham.
So Cunningham, a strong showing here in Game 1.
Yep, 96 pitches, 1 hit, 3 strikeouts, 2 walks, but has his Jackets with a 6-0 lead, 5 1/3 innings pitched, and all the Jackets out of the dugout, fans standing, showing their appreciation. He hands the ball off, and he will come out to a standing ovation.
So a new pitcher for the Yellow Jackets. We'll take a break and tell you about him afterwards. This is Heath Hawks Playoff Baseball on RockwallISD.com, powered by the SportsGram Network.
So the Yellow Jackets bringing on Charlie Giese, 24 2/3 innings pitched on the season, 2.554 ERA. Giving up 20 hits, 11 runs, 9 of them earned, 17 base on balls, and 28 strikeouts in the 24 innings. Big right-handed pitcher. So the Hawks down 6. Yellow Jackets scored 1 in the first.
So should be noted, Giese pitched in that play-in game against the Hawks back on May 4th. He went 2 1/3. He walked 4, gave up a run, struck out 1, and had a hit batter. So put 5 aboard and gave up a run in his last appearance against the Hawks.
Senior Zach Wright trying to get it going for the Hawks here.
Runners at first and second with 1 out for Zach.
Hawks made their pitching change. First batter came in and hammered a ball to the fence.
Strike comes across for the first pitch. Reich, no at-bats tonight officially as he's walked in his only at-bat.
Coach Harvey.
Not happy.
letting the umpire know his displeasure there.
So 0-1 pitch to Zach. Giese checks the runner at second, and it bounced past, and the runners will advance down on the wild pitch. So now runners at second and third with 1 out. And Zach Wright knotted up at a ball and a strike.
That pitch going behind his head. As the runners move up, now have runners on second and third with 1 out.
Bazell at third, Mason at second.
Coach Harvey asking for a new ball, saying that ball hit off the back with bricks. That's a fresh ball. He got it.
It did come back very hard.
Lots of real estate in the shallow outfield for Zach Wright because that one comes in tight. Zach having to lean back out of the way, and he's ahead now, 2 balls and a strike. Long look in to Cole Dillon. Now comes set up as that strike hits the outside corner. And Reich now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
All fastballs so far. Shout out to the birthday girl, Tatum Rodden. See her out there in the stands.
Zach trying to keep it going. That one in the dirt, and the count is full.
Nice stop by the catcher right there.
So Giese in danger of walking the first batter he faces as Reich will come set.
Caleb Hoover coming up.
Waiting the payoff pitch. And this one is hit high right side, and it will get out of play. Bouncing between the grandstand and the pavilion out in right field.
Reich hanging tough here. If he can somehow get on Caleb Hoover, game could get interesting.
Yes,
anything into right field from Zach, and this is a ground ball. And the throw over will be in time, but the RBI scored, and the Hawks have put a run on the board here in the bottom of the 6th.
Smart play by Braden Randall, just taking it, getting the second out. Run does not matter as much when you're up 6-1, but the Hawks have broken out for their first run of the game here in the 6th, and Hoover up now with 2 outs and man on second.
So Mason remains at second for Caleb Hoover. First pitch misses way outside, ball 1. Caleb 0 for 1, drew a walk in his last at bat.
Giese throwing pretty much all fastballs so far.
Infield indifferent to the runner at second as Giese checks him and now comes home, and this one's hard hit first base side. Rose will take it, pitch it over to Giese, and the sign is retired. But the Hawks score a run. So 1 run on no hits. They leave a man. We're going to the 7th. We'll be back after these messages. 6-1 Yellow Jackets lead. This is Heath Hawks Playoff Baseball on RockwallISD.com and the SportsGram Network.
Hey, Rockwall Heath fans. Nothing tastes better after a Hawks victory than some Raising Cane's chicken fingers. We're open late, so join us for some of our fresh, never frozen, cook-to-order quality chicken finger meals. Here at Cane's, we know how to win the day, and we'll help you win the day over your hunger and wash it down with a fresh squeezed lemonade. See you after the game. One love. Go Hawks.
Back here at Dallas Baptist University, as we go to the 7th inning, Rockwall Yellow Jackets with 1 in the first and 5 runs in the 5th before the Hawks getting their first run in the 6th. Jackets lead at 6-1 going into the last inning. Hawks trying to pull off a small miracle. And the Jackets well on their way to taking a 1-0 lead. in the series.
Andrew Daniels remains the pitcher for your Hawks here in the top half of the 7th. Face off. Against the strong part of this Jackets lineup will be Dylan, Telia, and Rose, 3-4-5 hitters here in the top of the 7th.
Yep, as we look back on that 5th inning, the Hawks had a chance to get out with the score only 2-0. Could have played different, but they were able to keep scratching. A couple of pass balls and then a big bases loaded double.
Dylan 0 for 2 and a walk tonight to lead off the 7th. As Daniels comes home, and this one is hit hard, right side, low, shading to his right, makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out to start the 7th for Andrew Daniels.
Daniels showing that Coach Harvey should have him for a couple more years. The cover's not bare, never is for the Hawks or the Jackets.
Andrew Telia will come to the plate.
Jackets on the verge of winning their 9th straight playoff game. 10 if you go back to the play-in game. They've been on quite a roll, trying to go just 1 game away from a trip to Round Rock. But the Hawks always bounce back. They have been in 5 elimination games.
Telia stands in as Daniels misses inside for ball 1. Telia 0 for 2 tonight. Got a walk and a strikeout and a run scored. Good buddy Brad Malone texting in. Jacket fan listening to the Hawks broadcast. I'll take that.
There you go.
As Daniels misses for ball 2. As Jackets held on to a 1-0 lead, and then that crooked number inning as Telia hits this one hard, third base side. It gets down. It'll rattle around in the left field corner as Wright goes over to try and get it. Telia coming around second, and he will hold up there with a stand-up double with 1 out here in the 7th is Andrew Telia.
He took the fastball, ripped it right down the third base line into the corner. It got stuck. Long way to go for Zach Wright as he cruises in with the stand-up double to get things started with 1 out here in the 7th.
So with Telia aboard, it'll be the first baseman, Mac Rose. Rose 0 for 2 with an RBI, a walk, and a strikeout.
Looks like we've got a courtesy runner coming in, guys.
It's been the courtesy runner all night for the Yellow Jackets. I want to say thanks again to our friends over at Alliance Bank, Corky Randolph and the team there, for all of your local banking needs. We hope you'll go over and patronize those businesses that sponsor Heath Hawks broadcast for you here. Alliance Bank has been wire to wire a sponsor of all sports here on the SportsGram Network and Rockwall ISD. Go see Corky Randolph and the team over at Alliance Bank. So Mac Rose, left-handed hitter with 1 out here in the 7th. Jake Overstreet running out at second base. He's been the courtesy runner of choice for Coach Rose. Overstreet finishing his freshman year as well. One 1-0 pitch to Rose. Outside corner for strike 1.
Made a mistake earlier, guys. Raspberry plays for McNeese Cowboys. I said Murray. Sorry there.
Lake Charles, Louisiana. No balls, 2 strikes to Mac Rose. Daniels checks the runner at second. Overstreet with a healthy lead, now showing he stays put out there at second. Pitch misses low and inside for ball 1.
Good 0-2 pitch right there by Daniels.
Trying to get Rose to chase. A couple of hard hit balls from him. Mac crowds the plate. Down on 1-2. Curveball outside. Daniels thought he had it. Bazell trying to frame it, but it is not. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the first baseman, Mac Rose.
Jackets softball team already down in Round Rock. So they are playing in the state tournament this weekend. Congratulations to them.
2-2 pitch is reach down and get it. It bounces in, and Overstreet will hold up at third. And on 2-2, Mac Rose goes down and punches one out into left field.
Good job of hitting by Rose there, as the Daniels had thrown a good low outside pitch, but able to go down and get it, slap it to opposite field. Zach Reich coming on, catching on one hop. The Jackets with runners on the corners again with 1 out. And Tate Sloan at the plate had the big bases loaded double, 2 RBIs last time up.
1 for 3 on the night is Sloan. As that one gets past Bazell, but it bounces right back to him. So Rose will run down to second on the wild pitch, and there are runners at second and third with 1 out.
So Bazell had called for a pitch out, had stepped out. Daniels not getting the signal. Throws one right down Broadway.
Oh, man.
Bounces off the backstop, so Rose will run down to second. Jackets now with runners on second, third, 1 out. Trying to really put this thing away.
So the 1-0 pitch to Tate Sloan. High hold from Daniels as Bazell sets up outside. Big swing and a miss as Daniels rears back and just blows it past him for strike 1.
Sloan was the first batter to face Daniels when he hit that big double with the bases loaded.
1-1 pitch. Strike 2. Good off-speed breaking ball from Daniels to get ahead of Sloan. Daniels working quickly now. 1 ball, 2 strikes as this one's hit right back up the middle. It'll be an RBI single, and Rose is waving the runner around as the throw is not in time, and it is a 2 RBI sacrifice. Now it's a single and then out trying to advance. But the Jackets score 2 more and lead now 8-1.
4 RBIs for Sloan. Good job hitting as the Jackets now lead 8-1.
Sloan did a great job there. He's hitting the ball all night long. In fact, the Jackets, was that 8 hits for them tonight already?
That's
number 9.
That's going to get the crowd to moving as some of the student section for the Hawks up and moving. I think they're not going to want to stick around for the banter that would be coming at the end of this game.
Swing and a miss. From the batter, Mason Poppin. Poppin 2 for 3 on the night. He's one of 2 Jacket hitters with 2 hits. As this one is popped up left side, Zach Reich coming over and will make the catch. So Jackets retired, but not before they put up 2 more runs. 2 runs on 2 hits, and they leave a man. And we're going to keep it here as we go to the home half of the 7th. The Hawks have been able to score this many runs, but with the pitching for the Jackets and what seems like all the momentum going the Jackets' way, it looks like we're just going to prepare for Friday, but not before we get a couple of more swings at it.
Yeah, the Hawks, at this point, we can say you can even see it, they are not a lively bunch over there in the dugout. Timbo, we've seen them in this situation before, obviously not on this big a stage, but they are 5-0 in elimination games. What do we expect out of the Hawks coming back on Friday?
Well, I think what we need right now is we need to get something positive working right now. Okay, concede the game, but let's not concede the inning. Let's win this inning. Let's get something working. Just hit the ball, and let's work on that and come back on Friday with a positive attitude. If we don't, we won't see Saturday.
Now, the Hawks will have plenty of time to think about it as graduation for both schools tomorrow. Sometimes I'm not sure if that's good or bad when you're coming off a loss, but nevertheless, the Hawks, every time they have faced elimination, have come back strong. I expect them to do nothing less than that on Friday.
Oh, yeah.
7, 8, 9 hitters for the Hawks here in what could be the final frame as Lowe puts the bat on the first pitch. Randall comes up and the throw over. 6-3 put out for the first out.
In the Saxe series, Hawks got a combined no-hitter thrown against them in game 1. Kind of feels a lot like that. I would not expect the Hawks to take the Jackets lightly, but they did come back with 2 shutout performances by Bauman and Josh Hoover.
As Josh fouls this one back to the screen on the first pitch. Falls behind, no balls and a strike.
Johnny Lowe with his last at bat hit a good hard ball to shortstop on the ground. That's what I'm talking about. Let's just get something like this working, and let's build on it right here.
0-1 pitch to Hoover. Thought about a swing, checked it up.
One of the few ground balls hit tonight. Hawks popping up a lot of balls as Cunningham came out through a very good game.
Outside corner for strike 2. Josh shaking his head as he walks out of the batter's box. Will reset. And comes back behind in the count, a ball and 2 strikes. This one's hit up the third base side. Telia coming over, puts a glove on it hard. Throw over to Rose at first base. And Hoover is retired. Telia has made a couple of great plays over at third.
Yeah, coming in, charging that ball. Then coming up, throwing smoke across to first base, and the Hawks down to their last out here in game 1.
Stowers, guys, his last at bat charged one up, and Rose dove and caught that last ball. Let's see if he can do it again. Doo-doo.
So Stowers watches the first pitch outside for ball 1.
Jackets, they're faithful for good reason, feeling good.
Outside corner for strike 1. DC comes back. Jacket faithful standing up with 1 strike. And Stowers checks his swing. They're going to say he went. He's behind in the count now, a ball and 2 strikes. So Hawks down to their last strike in this one. By all accounts, has been a great performance by the Jackets here in game 1. Geesey comes home. This one's fouled back. Alex not quite done.
He's not ready to quit.
The 1-2 pitch to Alex Stowers. Outside corner, thought they had him on strike 3 called, but instead it's 2 balls and 2 strikes to the number 9 hitter. Swing and a miss. Stowers goes down on strikes, and the Jackets take game 1. Yellow Jackets score 8 runs on 9 hits. Your Hawks score 1 run on 1 hit. 2 errors in the field for the Hawks. And the Jackets lead the best of 3 series here in the regional final of the Texas High School Baseball Championships. 1-0 over your Heath Hawks.
Well, the Jackets out on the field, well-deserved win. They're feeling good about what they're doing. You see the Hawks coming out of the dugout. Coach Harvey taking them out into left field. They are moving slowly as they were taken to the woodshed here in game 1, but we know they will bounce back. Coach Harvey, once again, having to talk to his team for the 3rd time after a game 1 loss here in the playoffs.
Handshakes all around between the Hawks coaching staff. Jackets celebrating as the Hawks take a knee out in left field. And Shannon, you mentioned it. For the 3rd time in 5 rounds, the Hawks lose game 1. They have been able to respond in games 2 and 3. Be interesting to see if Coach Harvey goes back with Hoover on Friday. Does he bring Baylor Bauman out, who's had 2 very strong game 2 performances? And, how do these Hawks break out after a 1-hit 8-1 loss?
Well, like I say, Coach Harvey's been there before. He will probably not make that call, probably at least till tomorrow. We talked about it in the Saxy series. He made that call on the bus after game one. They were coming back. It was a short turnaround as they were playing midday the next day. Made the call, came back out, asked him about it after the game. He said it was just a feeling, and I kind of expect him probably to sleep on it, make a decision sometime tomorrow. And, got a hats off to the Jackets. They just flat came out and played well. The Hawks had their opportunities, but when you only get one hit in the game, Jackets don't have to score a whole lot of runs to win.
Well, Coach Rose does a really good job, and now that I say this, now you guys watch this. Coach Rose does a really, really good job of slowing the game down. When things are happening for the Hawks, Rose does a great job of calling time, maneuvering. It's like a chess game, like you talked about earlier. He's always working it. When we were playing good defense, 2 outs, quick 2 outs, he's calling timeout. He's going and talking to his batters. He's slowing the game down. And it's taking all the fire out of the Hawks. Once these guys figure that out, they'll be fine. I believe they'll come back. I believe they'll bounce back, but like you said, Shannon, one hit's not going to win a whole lot of games.
No, and even more, the 2 errors, one in the first and one in the fifth, really got the Jackets going, the Hawks. Johnny Lowe battling well, but got off to a little slow start there with the walk, and then a couple of bad decisions in the field, and one error off of the glove. And that was the difference. They kind of got out there. You kind of felt like if the Hawks they had their opportunities to tie up the game in the first and the fourth inning. If they could have gotten that done, could have changed the momentum of the game. But hats off to Cunningham. Came out, pitched a great game, kept the Hawks at bay. And game one, first big blow comes from the Jackets.
Hawks strand 5 runners. They had a couple of opportunities with back-to-back walks in 2 innings and unable to do anything with less than 2 outs as the Jackets defense plays strong. A very, very well-played game by these Yellow Jackets in the field as they win game 1 8-1. Of course, we'll take tomorrow off, as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast. Graduation for these 2 schools. Tomorrow, the Hawks have graduation at noon. The Yellow Jackets graduation just after that at Globe Life Field in Arlington. And then we'll be back here Friday at Horner Ballpark on the campus of Dallas Baptist University for Game 2. Pregame at 1:30, first pitch at 2 o'clock as the Hawks facing elimination for the 6th time since the 1st of May. As they want to keep their season alive, they're going to have to win Friday to play Saturday for a shot at the state tournament down in Round Rock.
If they're going to do it, they're going to have to do it a 6th and a 7th time as the Jackets just 1 game away from the trip to Round Rock. Like I say, all they can do is come back out. The Hawks have bowed up every time that they have needed to. I fully expect them to come out and do it on Friday and hopefully push it to a Saturday, one winner take all.
Jackets are rolling 9-0 in these playoffs. And the Hawks, as Shannon mentioned, going to face an elimination game number 6 and game number 7 in these playoffs. They fall to 2-6 all time against head coach Barry Rose, as trying to right that ship as well. So we'll take a little break of about 36 hours, and we'll bring you another one on Friday afternoon. Pregame at 1:30 from Rockwall, sponsored by Rockwall Sports Center. And first pitch at 2 o'clock. For all of our sponsors, Baker Brothers Plumbing, W. Lux Properties, Integrity Mortgage, Alliance Bank, Rockwall Sports Center, and to all of our fine sponsors, we hope you'll frequent those businesses and say thank you to them for bringing you Heath Hawks athletic broadcast here on Rockwall ISD and the SportsGram Network. For Terry Gregory and Steve Glenn, the ownership group at SportsGram. For Timbo Duncan, Shannon Rodden, and Brian James behind the camera, I'm Stan Britton saying from Horner Ballpark, so long until Friday. We'll see you then.